again. My name is Phil Herden. Thanks for joining us. Filming footy and a host of supporters. Joining me is my co-caller, host of Between the Posts, Sean Jacko Jackson. Welcome, Jacko. Haven't we lucked out with the position we're in this afternoon?
We have indeed, Phil. There's no one that looks after us better than the Goodwood Saints Footy Club. Craig Scott not here today, the president, posting that he's in the warmer climes of Port Douglas. Things must be going all right for Craig Scott, the president, and also I can't see Andrew Forrest, the football director, unsighted at this stage. But look, not a massive crowd. The conditions are not great for standing outside today, but we are behind the glass in a beautiful room, so we are very lucky, Phil.
Yes, if I ran the AFL, I would not have AFL footy on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah. I'd leave the slot vacant for state league, suburban and country to have their time. I say their time in the sun or their time in the rain, depending on the conditions. And I think the fact the Crows are playing Collingwood today on the warm TV also might have an effect as well. Game today, Jacko, should be entertaining as we have a look at the league ladder for our Buddy Bet Division 1 as St. Peter's come out. Second versus third. Big games last week. Port District beating Goodwood Saints by 6 goals. Princess beating St. Peter's to get in the 5. So these two teams, whilst top 3, are actually both coming off a loss.
Yeah, not in great form either, really, are they? It's not a bank of good, solid form. I think both coaches would be hoping that with only 5 games to go, including this one, that they would start nailing their form with some consistency. And a bit of that is to do with the ins and outs, Phil. They've both had significant changes again this week. So, yeah, 2 things there. I'm fearful for all football. We're certainly seeing at AFL level, but I'm fearful for all football that the second wave of COVID strikes.
I'm really on the second wave. I feel like I'm being battered by about the 4th or 5th by now. As we have a look at the Goodwood Saints season, you can see there, look, the Saints had a 6-game winning streak, round 4 to round 9. Shock loss at home. Their only loss at home this year was to Brighton. Backed up with a couple of wins, but the top of the table clash at Largs last week fell short by 36 points. Strong attacking team, a reasonable defence, and very good at home.
Yeah, only lost the 1 game at home, as you've got there, Phil, but not great on the road. And losing last week against Port Districts would sting a little bit because their destiny is now out of their hands to a certain extent. It's relying on Port Districts losing for them to get top spot. And do you want top spot? Well, there's a bye next week for the whole competition.
Yeah.
So after the bye, there'll still be 4 weeks.
4 games. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 4 games. So a bye would still be handy, I think. So you'd certainly take it because it means you've
it's
only got to win 1 game.
It's more the one where you get the bye, play the second semi, win it, and get 2 byes in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There's quite a few teams across the place in trouble. And if you have a look at St. Peter's there, look, it really has been in recent times win-loss, win-loss. They did put 3 together between rounds 6 and 8. Interestingly, every time St. Peter's have lost this year, they've rebounded with a win. They haven't had back-to-back losses. One of these teams is going to have it today.
Yeah, I think the most significant win for them in the back half of what they've played so far was round 8 when they beat Port Districts by 36 points. Since then, you could argue their form's been quite poor. Lost to Brighton by 25 points, beat Ross Trevor, who are 9th on the ladder by only 9 points. Lost to Glenunga, who are 4th on the ladder now.
Without being too cruel?
Yeah, by 17 points. Defeated Teatree Gully by 5 goals and then lost to Prince Alfred, who were out of the 5 last week by 12 points. So, yeah, Jeff Riddle would certainly would be looking to start getting a little bit more consistent with their good form.
Yeah, interesting that it's 5-1 on the road. Though their road record this year has actually been pretty good. That sole loss was at Brighton. Intrepid boundary rider Craig Lambert is rugged up for a big day boundary side as we see what happened earlier. We called this one actually, Jacko. You were on assignment in Fiji from memory. Tony Neal and I called this one. Goodwood Saints, it sort of ebbed and flowed a bit. But Goodwood Saints coming to the good 22 points at Caddo Oval. Tommy Anderson 3 goals and Kirk was absolutely brilliant all over the ground. James Sutcliffe kicked 5 goals Jake Sutcliffe, sorry, kicked 5 goals. Could have actually kicked about 8. He did miss a few as well. Speaking of Lambo, earlier today he caught up with St. Peter's coach, Jeff Riddle.
How you going, everybody? We've got a great game today. We've got Goodwood Saints playing St. Peter's, and I reckon whoever wins today get hold of a double chance. I've got Jeff Riddle, coach of St. Peter's. How are you, Jeff?
Yeah, good, Lambo. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. We'll keep it quick, mate, because it's you got to go in and tell the boys how they've done a win today, and it's going to be a great game. You got a few boys back today?
Yeah, we've got a few back, but we also got a few out. So, but is what it is. One soldier down, another soldier in. So it's just an opportunity for some other young guys to press their claim to cement a spot in the side.
Fantastic. First game against Goodies, you would have taken something out of it, and no doubt there'd be some improvements from that last game to today, I guess.
Yeah, we watched the vision of that after the game. We were pretty annoyed with ourselves. We got ourselves back into the game there in the last quarter, and then let it slip with some silly free kicks, which ended up costing us the game. So we're aware we got to start really well. Goodwood's a very good starting team, and then they seem to hold momentum for the rest of the game. So if we can jump them early, start really well, we think that's going to hold us in good stead.
2 hours time, I'm having a beer with you after the game and you win. I reckon a lot of the contested balls around the centre today on a game like today. You agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a small oval. You've seen it in the B grade. It's just really, really congested, really contested. So we've brought in a couple of inside mids to try and help that and to bat a bit deeper through there. So hopefully we can win that battle.
All the best today, mate. I've got you at 2-1, mate. I'll put you 50 each way on, mate. All the best, mate, and have a great game with the boys. Thanks for your time, Jeff. See you, matey.
Thank you.
And we thank Jeff Riddle for his time pre-game. Just some of the changes coming in as we see St. Peter's. It doesn't look exactly the most energetic warm-up, to be honest. And I can't say Goodwood Saints are moving at any faster pace. Goody Saints, Jacko, Reece Slape comes back into the side. Nick Crocker, Will Clark and Lucas Hughes. Kane Cornish, Thomas Lynch, Aaron Sarin and Blake Reed are the omissions. I think that's a net positive for Goodwood.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Reece Slate is very, very important for Goodwood Saints. Went to South Adelaide at the start of the year. I think he played the first 3 games in the league side, and then 4 or 5 weeks later he's back at Goodwood Saints. So not sure exactly what happened there, but certainly a big win for Goodwood Saints, and to have him back in the side is terrific. You did mention a couple for St. Peter's, though. Equally, I think to get who we got, Matsu Liardis back in. I think he's been a good player over the journey for him. But Luke Mitchell at centre half forward gives them a real target. And that's the key, I think, the St. Peter's wins have been when their 3 big pronged forwards dominate the game. So will be interesting to see whether... I didn't commentate the last game, and that was Hargraves kicked 5, didn't he?
Yeah, well, the other one was... Jake Sutcliffe was the one who kicked 5.
Sutcliffe, sorry, yeah.
Would have got it. We were debating whether to give him a prize or not, given it was the losing side, and we decided not to. He's kicked 25 goals for the season.
Yeah.
Sturt reserve last year. And then you've got Jock McClay, who I think is leading all comers in the Buddy Bet Division 1 with 35 goals. Speaking of Buddy Bet Division 1, Jacko,
yes.
I believe you and John Giannetti have a Buddy Bet going.
I do. We'll get to that afterwards, but we've got Lambo with us right now.
Saints at Goody Oval. Jesse and Ben and the umpires. Jesse's called tail straight away before he's flicked it, and it is heads. Goody Saints going to the southern end, which is on your right hand side. I reckon that's worth about 2 to 3 goals, boys. Look, it's going to be 16 degrees high today, 8 degrees low. A lot of rain is heading towards us later during the day. The wind's going to be about 22 kilometres per hour. I'm predicting Goody Saints by 33 points today, boys. The ground itself's in pretty good nick before the rain. A bit soft in the middle. Phil and Jacko, have a great call. I'll speak to you during the game. Up to you, boys.
Thanks for that, Lambo.
Well, you can see on the
toss to win.
You can see on the vision, Phil, how much the wind has picked up in the last 10 minutes.
2 to 3 goals. I think it's more.
That's generous, but it is a hard ground to score at, so it'll be a low-scoring game, so that's probably right. But only 15 minutes ago, Lambo said the breeze is worth 1, and now he said it's worth 2 or 3. See Big Carter there pushing one of the players around trying to fire each other up before the first bounce.
The umpires today, Marek Carls and Chris Robertson, field umpires, Wayne Scarman and Sam Scarman are the boundary umpires, would you believe, and Ethan Scarman and Sam Turner are the goal umpires. Hopefully some of those shared the same carpool to get here. Other games today, Tea Gully and Glenunga, Payneham Norwood Union host Port District, Prince Alfred and Rocks, Old Ignatians and Brighton. Every game meaning something pretty much for everyone at this stage of the season. We'll try and give you some score updates as we go along. But yes, your buddy bet, Jacko, I have to get this in before we start. Women's Division 1 leading goal kicker. How did you come up with that?
Well, got to be truthful there, Phil. I didn't, someone else did.
I was going to say, of all your areas of expertise to put a buddy bet on, I didn't have that on my list. But
No.
what I do have on your list as being an expert at, though, is calling the Buddy Bet Division 1. It's a big game. It is the game of the round, second versus third. The Saints of Goodwood, the Saints of St. Peter's, and you're with Sean Jackson.
Yeah, looking forward to this one, Phil. I hope you're nice and comfortable and warm at home. Carter it is who gets first hands on the ball for Goodwood Saints. He's been in good form all the year, probably the best ruckman in the competition. But no real impact because St. Peter's will have the first clearance out of the centre. They go long, standing in the way is Goodwood Saints. Louis Whitelock caught on his wrong foot for a left footer there. He was good enough to be able to hug the boundary line and head towards Mason Ellis, I think, who was in that little push and shove with Tommy Carter before the game, trying to fire each other up. He's a strong-looking unit, isn't he, Mason Ellis? That is for sure.
And a veteran, I think he's played over 160-odd games.
Right.
Senior level.
Okay, so I haven't seen a lot of Ned Altschwager, big unit. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes for St. Peter's in the ruck against Tommy Carter. So all players throwing themselves willingly at the contest to start the game. Phil, as you would expect, this is a pretty important game in the context of both of their seasons. 2v3. Goodwood Saints always pretty good at home. Altschwager gets hand on that, pushes it forward. No one able to get underneath it. Now there a chance to O'Brien if he can get onto this. It's Goodwood Saints first at it, but O'Brien puts on a strong tackle. Nothing doing. The umpire says, I will bounce it.
Yeah. It is a key battle. Even to finish top three is important. Most premierships are won from that position. As a kick around the body is just for a behind. The first score of the day will go the way of St. Peter's. But even the difference between finishing second or third is hosting that qualifying final, which gives you an edge trying to get to the second semi and the most direct route to the granny. So every position with home teams hosting is important, or in St. Peter's case, where do they usually end up playing their semis? It's usually at Adelaide Uni or Thebe or somewhere. So, but they love to have that choice. They're going forward now. Long kick into the breeze, showing you can score. Tackle, ball spills free. Attacking it and eventually conceded by Jack Luders. So Saints, despite going into the breeze, are doing the best. Early days in this contest, leading 2-0.
Yeah, the ball hasn't been over the centre line, I don't think, for Goodwood Saints yet. Reece Slape doing the kicking. We see Jeff Riddle quite animated from the sidelines, trying to get the zone situated here because it was a little bit shallow, the first kick, and Goodwood Saints were able to get it over the top. Again, they do, but St. Peter's has got all the answers. James Duncan's there, handballs it out the back. Now they come to Mason Nagel. He's looking for probably Jock McClay or Jake Sutcliffe to present. In the end, he goes long down the line, but a pretty ill-directed kick and well intercepted by Nick Burgess. Interesting to see him in the back half.
Yes.
Very versatile player, not a bad idea. When you're with the breeze, actually, I would have thought he probably would have played forward, but anyway, not sure. They're under a little bit of pressure here. St. Peter's have pushed up nicely on him. Ends up with Reece Slade on the boundary line, but pretty good zone there by St. Peter's. Look back behind the footy, they've got it covered pretty well. Slade has some courage to go into the corridor. It's a nice kick and probably more importantly a nice mark from Scott Blessing. Now that's opened up for him. Louis Whitelock on the right side for a left footer if he can take it cleanly. Ends up handballing to Favretto, I think, who tries to kick around the quarter. St. Peter's have got the answers now. It's in the corridor. Can Goodwood Saints go into their forward line for the first time? The captain Holzbauer throws himself at it. Umpire's letting it go. Love that. Love that. Ball comes out of the front of the stoppage now via Luke Mitchell. But in the way, big Jack Carter.
So the Saints are away of Goodwood down their outer wing. in front of the gum trees and about 5 spectators. Usually that's lined with deck chairs. Not today, I would say. They're just pushing it forward inside 50. Who can run onto it? Or is that Burgess who's come along?
Tommy Anderson there.
Anderson seeing it along over the line for the first score to Goodwood. It's 2-1. All behinds thus far. That is on the Sip and Save scoreboard, which is 1 hour delivery, 7 days a week. One of our great range of supporters of the Filming Footy's broadcast of the Adelaide Footy League this season. They'll kick it in. They're still able to get pretty good penetration to that outer side. Bodies flying all over the football at the moment. Tommy Carter comes in and took off with the ball, only having to return it. Carter and Olswager will do battle and ruck very close to that boundary line. Saints escape with it. St. Peter's, that is. I'm going to be saying that all day, aren't I? Saying Saints when it could be anybody. Luke Mitchell, an early touch into the pocket. Good work by Jack Carter. Certainly led McClay to that ball. McClay probably not happy with the delivery, saying, kick it goal side. Kick it goal side. We'll see if Mitchell does that next time he gets it.
Yeah, look like they're rotating the the key three forwards for St. Peter's. Sutcliffe now making his way to the goal square as McClay comes out and takes the ruck work, and that allows them a little bit of a breather. Good idea, rotation policy, and Luke Mitchell comes back behind the ball, so they've got it covered pretty well here. Ned Olswager, a lot been asked of him today. He's at this contest. Looks like he's going to come deep forward to do the ruck work as well against Carter. That time it was McClay. Now Goodwood Saints have it. Slape around the corner. This looks dangerous. St. Peter's Hargraves is there. Can he take it? He does on the second bite. Could be holding the ball. Umpire lets it go. Plenty of numbers around this contest. We're going to be saying that a fair bit today.
It is looking more like a rugby scrum than anything else at the moment.
The ground itself is in pretty good condition, folks. It's not sloppy, so we had a little bit of ranger in the B grade. A good win to Goodwood Saints there. Anyway, the umpire's pulled out a free kick, and that's going to go to Charlie Dowling. He get an opportunity to pump the ball inside forward 50 here. Will he go shortly? Go for one of those longer targets. He looks on the lead, and a nice mark. I reckon that's Jake Sutcliffe, Phil. It is, with the right arm sleeve.
Yep.
So an opportunity to put the first goal of the game on the board for St. Peter's. We've all gone for Goodwood Saints today on the back of the fact their record is very good at home. And we think their side is probably a little bit better balanced today, but the threat is always going to be the three key forwards. And so this is pretty important, isn't it? Jake Sutcliffe, if he can get this, he gets them away to a pretty good start into the breeze. Only about 30 metres out. Distance certainly won't be a problem. And neither is the accuracy. And first blood goes to the St. Peter's Old Collegians. And Jeff Riddle will be very happy with the start at the moment. Not just, they're out to 1-1, but it's 1-2, I should say. But they are all over them at the moment. Every loose ball they seem to be onto. So bit of work in front of Goodwood Saints at this stage, Phil.
Yeah, look, and it was a beautiful pass by Sutcliffe, who deserved a goal assist on that. Also, Mitchell did. The Jake Sutcliffe played from Sturt Reserves last year, kicked 5 goals, was best on ground for the St. Peter's when they last met. His biggest haul this year is 7 goals in their win against Port District. So he steps up for the big games by the looks of it. And again, Saints going forward, I reckon inside 50 count would be like about 8-1. And they've got the running shot on goal that's going to be
it's bounced through.
shepherded through. And the player, I think, was number 27, Hamish Allen. We'll check that on the replay to confirm.
Over to Lambo.
Great start by St. Peter's. Jacko, centre clearances around the ball. They're on top at the moment, mate. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, he's spot on. Did the last centre bounce. Goodwood Saints, Tommy Carter jumped up at Ned Olswager, almost put him into next week. It was a terrific, strong contest, but made no impact whatsoever. St. Peter's still able to get the clearance. So when the ball hits the ground, St. Peter's are definitely on top at this stage, Phil.
Hamish Allen's 5th goal for the season. Chance for Goodwood Saints, who have the breeze and just haven't been forward. But again, it looks like St. Peter's will get the clearance. They've got it through Duncan. onto Facey. And
Tom
he gets it to the other side.
You have a breather, mate. Tom Anderson it is, but geez, that's a poorly directed kick and intercepted by Brad Coulson back into the team this week. He comes lateral to Hargraves. They're in the middle corridor, or the middle lane, which is the new terminology. Go back from where it came. Out, should have been marked by Tom Facey into the side this week. He'd be disappointed with that. Yeah, he is a bit disappointed, Tom. No worries, mate. It's all about the next ball. They are on top all over the ground at the moment, St. Peter's, but it is early days, folks. We are only 9 minutes into this game. So we'll get the same result at the boundary throw. It's Carter versus Altschwager. This time, Goodwood Saints get first hand on it. Good tackle from St. Peter's. Might have been too high. The umpires let it go. As I mentioned, we're going to see a bit of that, and now this time, good tackle by Carter. So we'll get another opportunity here. Goodwood Saints need a little bit more from the midfielders when the ball hits the ground. Nice by Carter again. He's clearly winning the ruck. That's not an issue for him at the moment. Once again, it's gone forward. Now Goodwood Saints into the corridor, looking for Burgess. Got an opportunity here, inside 50. Good defence there by St. Peter's by Toby Schulz. He comes to the wing, but the skipper, Benny Holzbauer, comes over the top, drops it in the end. Looks like he was going to take it all day, every day, but once again, it's easy for us sitting in the glass box here where there's no wind. Out on the ground, it does look a little bit swirly, Phil.
Yeah, just checking.
You recovered okay?
Well, we'll find out when things get exciting. The marquees are certainly blowing around a fair bit at the moment. Still stationed to the ground. Hope they've been well weighted for this afternoon. So again, not particularly pretty footy or a lot of clear possession. The free kick is going to go the way. Advantage is paid. Hargraves is off to the top of the square, lands in the lap of Jesse O'Brien, the captain. He's going to take a shot from about 15, 20 metres out. That was a nice advantage. Yeah. Fairway forward of the mark, as you'll see here on the Dartfish replay.
Yeah, everyone had stopped. It's a bit tough, that advantage, but it's always
all depends on who you're barracking for, Jacko. I reckon in that situation, St. Peter's fans would say, yeah, that's fair. We had a free, away we went. Shot on goal. Oh, look at
wow,
my goodness.
How the wind got hold of that?
Wow, way.
It's Jesse O'Brien. That has gone left to right like you wouldn't believe.
So it's not just that we're dealing with a north-south breeze. I think we're dealing more with a cross breeze as well.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to mean, Jacko, a lot of play on the outer side of the ground, but wow, that's a miss.
Yeah, at least the numbers are easy to see. So Slape it is. Have a look at the carry on that kick. That has gone to the middle. That's gone, in fact, over the middle of the ground. So certainly favouring this end. Jock McClay now has it. Been in really good form for St. Peter's all year. Leading goal kicker in the competition. He's come down the ground a fair way. Now goes with a nice drop punt out towards Mitchell. Back into the side. And as you mentioned, Jesse O'Brien there. What a luxury to be able to bring Jesse Bryan off the ball at about 6'2", 6'3", built like the proverbial.
Another forward target.
And rest him in the forward line. Wow, on a big deck on a dry day, they have got some firepower in the front half of the ground, St. Peter's.
Played some games with Banks.
One of the Hugh Hazeman mid-season pickups. Been out now with a couple from a suspension incurred in his first game for a sling tackle, but they'll certainly welcome him back in as Tom Perrin takes a mark for Goodwood Saints and transfers to play. But Jock McClay's got in the best position here. Hurried the kick though, and in the end made it easy for Tom Perrin to defend. And the umpire's actually given a free kick against him in the end for holding the ball. So St. Peter's will have another shot on goal. They are currently 2-3.
Charlie Dowling will get a shot, who has not scored a goal this season.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting to see if he's learnt anything from the previous kick. He needs to go really left to have any chance. He has. That's how actually held its line beautifully. And that is Charlie Dowling's first and St. Peter's third. And they go out to 3-3. Goodwood Saints. Well, they've got some work to do, Phil.
Well, I thought it was a good toss to win, but St. Peter's is certainly showing that the northern end can be scored on.
Yeah.
6 scoring shots to 1, probably about, I reckon, 10, 12 inside 50s to 2 at a guess. And the Goodwood Saints have got to get themselves back in the contest, or they're going to find themselves down by a few goals and going into the breeze themselves in the second quarter. So to the rucks. And at ground level, Matsuliotis doing some hard yards. Tommy Carter says, I've had enough of this. He puts his presence on the contest. Beautiful spin and move by Long to kick inside 50. That deserves a mark downfield.
Well, you wouldn't be happy with that, Phil, Jeff Riddle. See, the ball has moved. The thing you look for when the ball moves from the centre is who's the last away from the stoppage. And Jock McClay's come into the ruck for St. Peter's and stood still at the centre circle. Every other player transfers 10 metres to the side and made it easy for Carter to get.
They were one short.
One short, correct. And he was just out there spectating. So, got to be better than that. Jock McClay, his forward craft has been very good. But he's going to have to make sure he's on his game there. And a good battle, obviously, against a very good player in Tommy Carter.
Not sure if that play was particularly touched, but must have been, or else it'd be a free kick.
One thing I will say about Jock McClay, he certainly has trimmed down this season. He looks in really, really good condition, and his football is appreciating. And again, St. Peter's, no problems away from the stoppage, courtesy of Jack Kelch. Goes long down the line. Luke Mitchell there.
Interesting tactics when you think about it. You've got the leading goal scorer in the league running around in ruck.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I say. I'm not sure about
that. Would have caused some confusion amongst the Goodwood coaching staff as to where to place their defenders.
Well, I called a game last week, Salisbury North, and they had a bloke running around in the ruck. Well, in fact, he spent most of the day forward, who rucked the last 2 years for St. Peter's. Was it Coulson? Was that what his name is? Matt, ex-Central Districts player. They could perhaps use him at the moment. Anyway, Goodwood Saints, Reece Slape has it at half-back. Free kick, goes into the corridor. Ben Holzbauer, always lively, plays on quickly. Nice transfer of play. Burgess, back in the forward line now. Jeff Riddle, very animated on the sidelines today, I've got to say. He understands the importance of this game. And again, St. Peter's have all the answers defensively. Young Will Clark came at that ball, but well defended by Jack Kelch.
Well, if Saints win this, it means pretty much they've beaten all the top sides in the comp. At some point during the season, there's a little bit of by-play.
Yeah, a bit going on behind around the ball there. Carter doing it easy in the ruck, isn't he? He's just got probably 15, 20 kilos on McClay.
Holzbauer leading Dowling to the ball. There's enough space to work out a gap. Unfortunately, the kick. I reckon we should almost put a count on how many out of bounds on the full is going to be on that side. That's the first. It won't be the last.
Yeah, I don't think he needed to do it, Ben, there. He's quick enough to be able to get back on his preferred leg. Didn't need to panic with that kick. And as a consequence, St. Peter's now going into their forward line, and Luke Mitchell stand under that ball. So it did look a little bit unbalanced, in fairness to him, but I still think he could have pirouetted and come back this side. Now that looks like Jesse O'Brien with a mark there, is it?
Mitchell initially.
Yeah, Mitchell, he's kicked it. No, it's not Jesse O'Brien, is it? Can't quite see who that is.
Let's have a look.
Won't kick it from there. He's outside 50, right on the boundary line. Although, I tell you what, that's carried a fair way. So the breeze up and down the ground, maybe not that strong, Phil. Might be more of a cross breeze. And Goodwood Saints come out now.
Oops.
Burgess is there. Oh, sorry, Tom Anderson's there. Good tackle, St. Peter's. Very careful with how we tackle these days, James Hargraves.
Especially with finals on the horizon. Yeah, don't want to miss them.
Had Lucas Hughes in his sights and could have really taken him to the ground, but was careful with the tackle. Both sides have suffered this year with sling tackle suspensions. So again, the same two, and Carter doing it easily and wins his own ball, which he quite often does. But again, the back half, Tom Facey. St. Peter's too strong across the half back line. Goodwood Saints struggling to penetrate their forward line at this stage. Carter again, he's going to have another crack. Exactly the same thing. Let's see what happens here, folks. This time, the crumb by Burgess. Well kept in by Jacob Heitman. Again, St. Peter's able to repel it quite easily in the end. Now it's Bradley Coulson. Transfers play out the far side. Player had enough time to drop the ball, pull his sleeves up and still get it. That's how much space he had. And Will Montgomery ends up with it. Now kicks towards Mitchell.
So Mitchell's providing a target on that outer wing. On this occasion, couldn't pull it in.
Got a bit of size on Reece Slape, hasn't he?
Yes.
Interesting to see if they stay with that same matchup all day. Tommy Lynch not playing today, Goodwood Saints, hurts them. He can normally do a pretty good nullifying role for him in the back half.
So it's still Carter and Olswager, and whilst Carter is winning hands down, Saints have adapted to it pretty well. This is Heitman, I think, with the clearing kick down that outer wing. Standing ground pretty well.
Playing for the free kick. Got it.
So this is a chance for Goodwood. You could almost say he can score from there, such as the breeze, although he's to an extent kicking into this is Kyle Kirk, who was absolutely brilliant. So when they last met, his kick is intercepted by Charlie Dowling.
Yeah, he goes
Plus
back.
you get Lambo calling some play-by-play from the other side.
Well,
He's going to be there all day.
Let's get him doing something anyway, Phil. And his free chicken roll. Michael Pope has a crack at that one. Not able to take it. Good defence from Goodwood Saints on that occasion. The ball spilled out in front of the brightly covered, painted toilets, I imagine they are for the tennis club.
And the tennis court, no tennis today.
No, you can see the water on the surface there. We've had a bit of rain here. Right, Carty's doing it very easily in the ruck. One of the things I've been a little bit critical of over the last few games is when a side has such a dominance in the ruck, the other side not using a second ruckman, a second jumper. We haven't seen it from St Peter's at this stage, but they haven't needed to because they've been winning the clearances. And speaking of...
I was about to say, at the moment, it's Goodwood who have to change that up.
Speaking of blokes who are proving very threatening, Luke Mitchell looks like he has come to play today. Didn't play last week. He goes to Macleay. It's almost a falcon there from Goodwood Saints. Love to see that in replay. Louis Whitelock again caught on his right foot. Ends up handballing the ball out of bounds, and as we know, no
Speak
penalty.
and you shall receive, Jacko.
What's happened?
I wanted to see the replay.
Ah, okay. Nice use of the body by Jack Carter there.
So throw in. Time on, we've got to be, we're into time on now. It's been all St Peter's, although they were 3 pretty early goals. We haven't had one for about 7 or 8 minutes. It's a dark day. I'll be very interested to see it, and it's a lot darker, of course, here than what you're seeing on your TV with the light adjustments. We may well be seeing some lights on by the time we're done, Jacko.
Yeah, you can see Toby Schulz back behind the ball for St Peter's, organising their defence, and a very experienced player. Looks like what they're doing is they're running their ruckman a kick back behind the play. So Jock Macleay will come out and take the ruck work in the forward line, which allows Altschwager to go behind the ball. If they can get him picking up a play, then Toby Schulz can set himself up as the free player, which he likes to do. But it's in the forward 50. A Carter, first hands on again to Jacob Heitman. He goes down the line. This is the outnumber here. Can it affect Goodwood Saints' chances? Will Clark good enough to get it on? Now they're into an open forward line. This is on for the speedsters. Sam Lowby, what's his speed like? Pretty good. But the ball bounces out of bounds. Good race between him and Charlie Gibson there. As Benny Allsbauer comes off for
How
a quick...
long was that kick?
Yeah, it travelled a fair way, didn't it?
Just kept bouncing and only seemed to pick up more speed the further it went. So a rare stoppage inside Goodwood's forward 50. Trailing by 18, still goalless in theory with the breeze, unless we've all read it entirely wrong. And it ain't coming out of there without assistance. 22 and a half gone.
So you can see behind the ball, Phil, Goodwood Saints have got a spare player, and Toby Schulz is setting up as a spare for St Peter's. I like to think sometimes when you've got this advantage with the wind that you I'm talking about Goodwood Saints here, you forego the need to have a spare player and push that bloke forward and try and get him dangerous and make Toby Schulz accountable. In the end, it looks like Goodwood Saints have won a free kick, and it might be Sam Lowby.
Interesting about what happened in order with that. Did Lowby go down and was hit high, or was he hit high and then did he go down?
There's a bit of conjecture at the moment about head-high free kicks, isn't there, particularly across the AFL with blokes who are very good at milking them.
Give it 5 years, they'll all be wearing helmets.
Yeah.
All right, from 30 metres, long kick, and the Goodwood Saints are on the board, and boy, oh boy, did they need that at the 23.5-minute mark. For Lobby, that is his first goal today, obviously, his 13th for the season, and the margin is back to 13 points. You see the Dartfish replay. Whatever conjecture about the free, No doubt that was a good kick.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to get Lambo's thoughts at quarter time about the breeze. We'll get him to stand out in the middle field and take a windsock with him.
Yeah, that's...
Let's get something out of him today. Promised us lunch at half time, but Craig Scott, if you're watching this, we have been brought up beautiful chicken
Yep,
schnitzel
beautiful.
rolls.
Looking forward to that scene.
They come out of the middle this time, Goodwood Saints, searching for Will Clark on the lead. Unfortunately, the kick not great. It ends up trickling out of bounds. And this is the exact scenario where if the Adelaide Footy League introduced the last possession rule, it'd be a St Peter's free kick here, and it'd mean that on a tight oval like Goodwood Saints, a lot of the play would go through the corridor.
Yeah.
Quite like the idea myself, but not sure it'll come in here. St Peter's have the numbers, get the ball to the outside, but good enough, Goodwood Saints. And it's Tommy Anderson, I think, who goes with the outside of his right foot. Has kicked a few goals this year, Tommy Anderson. Has spent some time up forward, but couldn't get that one on track.
Yeah, 18, I think, or
18,
16.
is it? Yeah.
Right up there amongst the leaders for the team. Rain's back.
Mm.
And everyone's ducking under the barbecue, and a couple of sponsor marquees provided, which is good to see.
Nice grandstand here, isn't it? With
Oh, yeah.
all the spectators undercover. It's quite heavy, actually, the rain at the moment. I'm not sure you can pick that. Yeah, you
Just in
probably
time
can
for
pick that up.
Lambo
on the
to go
screen.
out to the huddles in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's yet to be seen, Lambo. Now the rain's come. He's probably in his car on the way home. The Goodwood Saints have won a free kick. So with 25 and a half, there won't be a lot of time on. 25 and a half gone. Here's an opportunity for Goodwood Saints. They lower the eyes, trying to find someone on the lead, but Toby Shaw's in best position. As Carter comes off, and Angus Rana, who hasn't been on the ground at all yet, which is interesting because the ground has been quite dry. Thought they might have started with him up forward with the breeze.
He was with Westies for about 6 years through the under 16s, 18s reserves.
Yeah,
Goodwood Junior.
they're obviously, I can understand into the breeze, but with the breeze, I would have thought he would have been a straw. We saw him early in the year take a Mark of the Year contender. As Mason Ellis goes around the corner, but now it's Favretto, I think, who ended up with that kick, but well intercepted again by St Peter's in the goal square. And the defence from St Peter's has been very, very good so far. And the umpire's paid a free kick. I reckon that's Mason Nagel, is it? No,
Yep. No, he's got it.
No, Nagel's got the long sleeve.
Oh, okay. Hot footing in front of the grandstand, socketed forward by Pope, spills out of bounds. So Saints have gone from, can we hold off Goodwood scoring before quarter time, to now thinking maybe we can just grab one before the first siren.
Almost in the space of 1 minute, the game has changed, Phil. Look at the ground; it's starting to look sloppy.
Yep.
The whole dynamic of this game has just changed, and now it's going to be about who's going to be best when the ball hits the ground, who can keep their body in line and maximise their opportunities.
A 13-point lead, but because of the conditions, it's probably 4 goals.
Yeah, it's a fair call.
But Jeff Riddle, he's a...
And if you
Hope he's
look,
got a voice there, because I reckon he's been in that spot just about the whole quarter.
he has.
Needs a megaphone, that's what he needs. Tackled, well tackled by Scara. Saints are away into some open space. Will it sit for Lobby? Hamish Allen is doing very well to force the neutral situation. Initially Goodwood had 2-1 and would have been off down the outer wing. Instead it's going to be a throw in. That's a win to St Peter's.
Yeah, both sides using their interchange bench quite heavily. So we are 28 minutes gone. I reckon there's probably only a minute left in it, whether anyone can score. Rana it is who hits it on the check towards Lauby. Players crashing in. Almost state of origin reminisced there. Working his way through the pack was Lucas Hughes. Ends up the ball coming into the middle, into a little bit of space. This is where St Peter's have been dominant with a loose ball today. Has been superbly won by St Peter's. Good Saints have a chance. Now go forward. Well spoiled by St Peter's in the end. Plenty of numbers there for both sides. No one can take it cleanly. Oh, Tommy Anderson looks like, or Mick Burgess might have had his head ripped off. not seen by the umpire. I reckon it was clearly high from this side on our camera, but
Would have been an interesting kick with a very heavy football, but with a very strong wind.
yeah, yep, indeed.
Siren can't be too far away. We're at 29-minute mark in a 4-goal quarter. Run on the forward 50 arc for the Saints. We'll get some. Hopefully that was a score just coming through on my phone then from around the grounds.
Yeah, they'd like one more before three-quarter time, Goodwood Saints. They'd be desperate for one more. As Lucas Hughes throws himself at that contest.
There's a lot of players. There's no one St. Peter's side of the centre circle.
Look at that, Jock McLeay's come down deep into defence now for the rest of the quarter.
No, they're not going to have one soccering through, are they?
So they're not really interested in winning it and hitting it forward. Louis Whitelock, geez, he's been well tackled there by Scott Biddle.
Socket off the ground. It's become a bit of a soccer game. Certainly has been one of the non-prettiest game of football. It's not a day for skill. St. Peter's have got it. What can they do with just seconds surely remaining as we tick over 30 minutes of the first quarter?
Well, they're working hard, St. Peter's. Have a look at them charging from behind. McLeay not sure whether to go forward or back. Was going to go forward. Now he thinks, well, we haven't got it. Although they have. Luke Mitchell's marked it. There's the siren they've been eagerly awaiting, St. Peter's, to win their quarter. What was a very, very good quarter for St. Peter's. They lead 3-3. Goodwood Saints 1-2.
The goal scorers for St. Peter's, Jake Sutcliffe, Hamish Allen and Charlie Dowling. Sam Lobby, the sole goal scorer for Goodwood. We'll take a break. We'll have Lambo from the huddles, Jacko's analysis, and I'll have some scores around the grounds. Thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a 1-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome Jason Goods.
Thanks Tony, nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be a, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome back to Goodwood Oval. Some quarter-time highlights, and they were mainly for the team in blue and white, the St. Peter's Old Collegians. They lead this one 3-3-21. Goodwood Saints got a late one there, 1-2-8. Lambo's been out to the huddles. Thought he was going to report right then, but maybe not. Jacko's, your thoughts on the... Oh no, here he goes. Let's go to Lambo.
Jacko and Phil, what a great quarter. First quarter by St. Peter's. Hence why they're up by 13 points. They did all the good things. First to the footy. Composure was fantastic. Great pressure. Centre clearances and their restarts. They're winning it all. From ground level, they're first to the ball and they're hitting harder. You go over in here, Luke Donaldson at the moment, not happy. Second to the ball. The little things they always care about, non-existent at the moment. So he's blasted them. He said, don't worry about the weather, don't worry about the win. Get the bloody football and move it on. That was his response. He's not happy at the moment. One thing that Jeff Riddle said to me before the game, they got killed in the first game around the centre. You can see the difference at the moment. Around the ball, first of the ball, plenty of talk out there at the moment. Good standard by St. Peter's. Can they keep it going? We'll see in this second quarter. Keep the good work up, boys. Talk to you soon.
That's as good as a report I've ever heard from Lambo.
He's fired
That was
up.
very succinct and...
That was almost Coach Lambo.
It was. It was
Don't be
terrific.
second to the ball. Don't worry about the win. Get the ball. Move it forward.
And I've got to say, no Ollie Johnson today from Goodwood Saints. I'm not sure where he is. I did notice Jacob Hughes in the crowd for Goodwood Saints, who I believe they hope he comes back from a knee reconstruction. Well, not reconstruction. They hope his ACL manages to repair itself so he can play finals footy. But Lambo's spot on. They're getting beaten around the ball, but also when they go forward, the St. Peter's defence has been well and truly on top. Let's see how they go against the breeze. Carter clearly wins that one. Hits it hard forward. Gee whiz, the boys come at that ball. Nice bit of play. And I did see the ruck coach there talking to the Goodwood Saints players at quarter time about pushing the ball forward, and they did that. And that's a nice kick from Lauby out in front of Will Clark. He looks like he's got the job at full forward today. As I mentioned, Rana this time starting this quarter up forward. They give them a little bit of a height option, someone that Toby Schulz will have to be conscious of. As I said, we saw Angus Rana take a terrific mark early in the year here. And if you're sitting at home watching it, folks, the wind actually looks like it's died down a little bit here, and certainly the rain has stopped. Let's have a look at Will Clark. Distance, again, won't be a problem. He's only 30 metres out, 45-degree angle. He should nail this. And he doesn't. He just gets it a little bit skinny. It's the first score of the quarter. And now trail by 2 goals.
We all watched the goal umpire, and the goal umpire didn't move much, but was obviously deep enough not having to on that angle. Kick comes in towards the square. Quick kick by O'Brien, bouncing over and through the cricket pitch. Might be on here, socket on by Biddle. Now it's a race for pace towards the goal square. Jock McClay just got a hand on it but couldn't bring it in. Thumped out of bounds. Everybody wants deliberate. Everybody knows it's deliberate, but this is the Adelaide Football League. There is no deliberate.
Well, what I've got to say, what I've already noticed 2 minutes into this quarter is players that are slipping, and I worry about the footwear. Back in the old days, Phil, it was moulded soles or screw-in boots. Now everybody tends to wear blades, and they'll wear the same boots regardless of the conditions. So let's see how that unfolds if the rain comes back. So Carter versus McClay. McClay it is who gets that one, but Tommy Anderson first on it for Goodwood Saints. He's well tackled. Jacob Heitman there trying to clear it. And just a little bit of a knee lifted into him there by the St. Peter's players. No need for that sort of behaviour. Jesse O'Brien. Favretto been quiet today, Favretto. Hardly seen him play a bad game. They need him to get into the game around the ball, Goodwood Saints. Maybe Tommy Anderson comes into the midfield mix. I would think the Duck would be thinking about different possibilities. Even though it's only a 2-goal margin, folks, it actually feels like a 4 or 5 goal margin, if that makes sense, given the conditions and the control St. Peter's had in the first quarter. Boundary throw-in. It's inside. St. Peter's again, forward line. Heitman lays it off. They come down the wing. He's now right up on the wing, Will Clark. And intercepting well for Goodwood Saints is Reece Lape, who, as usual, has started this game in good fashion.
Slate decides to play on down the boundary side. Kicks it towards us, believing the breeze will bring it back, which it sort of does. Olswager got a hand on it, then he's instantly met. Sort of a half kick from his teammate in Facey. Back to Olswager, who manages this time to get the hand pass on to Gibson, who manages to get a half kick away. Spills to O'Brien. He's found some space. A bit of a zigzag work.
Oh, nice
Goes
kick,
with a
Phil.
high, long kick. Oh, hits the mid part of the goalpost.
I'm not sure that ball deviated at all. What a beautiful kick on the left foot. Unlucky.
And it shows any player in open space within 50 metres can dob one.
Yeah, now this is the bloke I'd be using to kick the ball in if I was Goodwood Saints. Louis Whitelock for that reason. They do tend to use Reece Slape, but I think if there's an interceptor player, I'd be pushing Reece Slape up a line, Luke, when you're watching this, and use Luke Whitelock as good a kick as there is in the competition, but getting in really good position. Jesse O'Brien in the middle of the ground. He's come to play for sure today. He goes towards McLeay now. Can he? 1-on-2. He can indeed.
Big kick coming up here. Jacko, I've got some scores around the Buddy Bet Division.
What have you got, Phil?
Tea Tree Gully 3-4-22. Glenunga 1 behind.
That's at Tea Tree Gully, I think.
Tea Tree Gully.
Yep.
Prince Alfred 1 goal. Rocks 3-2-20. That's at PAC or Park 9.
Wow.
At Karen Rolton, Old Ignatians 1 behind. Brighton 1 goal 9.
Oh, dear, oh dear. They've been inaccurate all year, Brighton. Speaking of inaccuracy, Jock McLeay doesn't make the distance.
Oh, that was just a pass, Jacko.
Was that a push?
You can tell that was a pass off the beat.
Plays on. That's really poor defence from Goodwood Saints there. Look, have a look behind. There's 3 players there. Carter, Whitelock and Blessing that were all in the vicinity. But was it O'Brien who marked it?
I think
Mitchell.
it was Mitchell.
Mitchell,
They all had a great view of it. They just didn't do anything about it. Admittedly.
And then whilst arguing with the umpire, he just plays on nonchalantly and nails his first for the day and St. Peter's first for a while, I must say, Phil.
Yep, Josh Slate won't like the look of that because you can see the tape of him looking at the umpire whilst Mitchell runs almost up his backside to snap it.
Yeah, and he is his direct opponent, Josh Slape.
Yeah. So, and I think part of that was that there was a Goodwood Saints player thought he was pushed out of it in the marking contest.
Yeah.
But
so it looks like Carter's got the job on Jock McLeay. That's Jack Carter. We mentioned Reece Slape on Mitchell. And
back to Olswager I'm going to give on that occasion, Jacko. Hasn't won too many of the ruck battles,
right.
but it's going to be Goodwood ball. It's going to be Kirk.
Should have given it then.
Kick through a bit of St. Peter's traffic.
Had Louis Whitelock running through the corridor on his boot, unopposed. Just something that, Louis, experienced player, previous captain, would have a word to young Kyle Kirk and say, mate, when I'm in that position there, just don't even think about it. Experienced player, if I call for the ball, you just give me the ball.
Montgomery's kick towards the outer side. No surprise, off hands, out of bounds. Throw in front of the tennis courts.
Yeah, good defence from Reece Slape there, wasn't he? Ran a fair way down the ground. He's actually looked like he's pushing up the ground now, and he might have the job on Jake Sutcliffe. So it looks like he's matched up on Sutcliffe when Sutcliffe goes forward, and he's playing a fair way down the ground. Now Goodwood Saints come. Favretto, that's better football, to Kyle Kirk. Have a look. Toby Shaw's that player who reads the ball as well as anyone in this level of competition and transfers the play quickly to this side. They've got the numbers here, but a really good intercept mark by Josh Slape. Rebounds it for Goodwood Saints.
And good to return the favour, intercepted by Montgomery, who'll go with the far side. That's the Saints mark. One of the rare players in the long sleeves today. Looking for Hargraves off-hand spills. And a throw in.
Yeah, but Hargraves had a long sleeve on. He might have marked that one, Phil.
Yeah. Yep, good point. Good point.
Never played him either, no. Just found it very uncomfortable.
Would it be, because you played Packers and Warriors, didn't you?
No, just Warriors, yeah.
Okay. The long sleeves with the Packer stripes along the...
Well, that's
they were interesting uni. Anyway, back to this game. Because the
Toby
Woodville
Shaw's
ones would have just been straight gold sleeves, wouldn't they?
I think they were, yeah. They were, yep.
Don't remember too many old Woodville players wearing the long sleeves too.
Alex Lunn.
Yeah, okay.
Johnny Martin maybe occasionally. Well, yeah, on a day like today, well, in saying that, the ground is still quite good. There's a couple of slippery bits for sure, but the mud's is not an issue out there, is it?
I don't know. It certainly looks browner than it did at the start of the game.
Yeah, it has deteriorated since the game started.
It has had a C grade and a B grade game, and of course, Goodwood Saints is such a large club. They've got juniors, they've got multiple women's teams, an inclusive team. It doesn't get a lot of rest at this time of year.
No. Well, the whole of the state is screaming out for more oval space. We've got some pressure on our local governments to deliver if the game is going to continue to grow, particularly in the women's space. Yeah. That's holding the ball. Wow, that's a brave decision.
Yeah, and a good one for the Goodwood fans because they're going to get a shot right in front. This is the Nicholas Crocart, who was best on ground in the reserves last week. Got the deserved promotion. His third league game, has not kicked a league goal, I believe. He has now.
Yeah, Crocky. Nice finish. I'd like to see if we can get a replay of the tackle if we can and just see how they got that free kick. Always brave to pay a free kick unless this is inside the goal square. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, probably fair enough. James Duncan just...
he did drop the ball.
He's saying he handballed the ball there, isn't he?
I'm not sure if that could be classified as a handball. He was sort of dragged off it as he was trying to. I'm not saying he didn't try.
Yep, we don't give points for trying in the big leagues, Phil.
Not in Div 1. Not thanks to filming footy, the Adelaide Footy League.
So Carter's gone simple. He's just hitting the ball forward at every opportunity. This time they come away nicely. Anthony Scaro, who is generally a good deliverer. Well, you can't get any better than that kick. The big bloke at full forward, Rana, needs to mark those chest marks.
Yeah.
Disappointment because St. Peter's now get a chance to rebound out of their forward 50, at D50 I should say, and that's a good kick. That's found Mitchell. He stays inside the corridor. Goes nicely to Jake Sutcliffe, plays on beautifully to the left foot. Look at the purchase on that kick out in front of her. That's actually Mitchell now, I think. Yes,
Sutcliffe
it is.
To Mitchell.
Sutcliffe, was it? Yep. Who was the kick to Sutcliffe? That's the one I called incorrectly, Phil. Apologies to whoever parents are watching there.
Just have to go and fetch the footy out of the car park, as you do. Not far from where we're parked.
Yeah, as you mentioned, generally quite popular over that spot. And the hill today, very few people on the hill.
11 minutes gone. Both sides have scored a goal in this second quarter. Certainly St. Peter's haven't used the breeze to the effect of breaking away from... Oh!
Gee, that was a good tackle.
That was almost the... I reckon the tackler got worse off than the tackler.
He did, yeah. I'm not sure what Jesse O'Brien... Favoretto's come in now and just taken him out. That's silly because that could end up being reversed here. The umpire didn't. He could easily have reversed that. In fact, what he's done, he's given a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, that's over the longest 25 in memory. No, that's 50.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but certainly could have changed it over. It doesn't matter because Jack Carter has it on this side of the ground.
It was a dangerous tackle.
Yeah, it was.
Which was ended up...
Nowhere to go, Jack Carter. Ends up going along the line, and luck sometimes favours the brave. Sam Lowby was in good position. Holzbauer ends up with a great attack by Nicholas Crocart, the lad up from the Bees from last week. I can see why. Ends up with O'Brien and St. Peter's forward line. And the big ruckman, Ned Ulschwager's gone there and performed the tackle. Yep. That's what you want from your big fella, don't you? The ability to be able to say...
He just kept on shaking him until he dropped the ball.
Yeah, have a spell in the ruck, son, and go forward. And then he performs a tackle like that. Well...
Check this tackle out on the replay. Grabbed him. Yeah, I'm going to ride you. Bang. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a beauty on Jack Luders, son of Roger Luders, the ex-West Adelaide superstar. Anyway, lays it off for O'Brien. Jesse just can't get that one online, so he's missed a couple, but a few of the Goodwood Saints boys are unhappy with Jesse O'Brien at the moment. Josh Slape there cannoning into him. He's a very, very important player for St. Peter's, Jesse O'Brien, and he's been a really good addition to their side over the last 3 or 4 years coming down from the Adelaide Hills League.
Goodwood will kick it back in towards the scoreboard, finds the target.
Louis Whitelock again with a kick, Phil, that hits the target right on
Lucas Hughes,
50.
I think this is. He'll kick it down the outer side, where there's a big pack waiting to thump it over for a throw-in.
We got Lambo.
Just at the moment, but they are rotating plenty of times, both sides. Great pressure by St. Peter's still.
Thanks, Lambo. They've got a ball in on the far side of the ground, almost the middle of the ground. Carter, first hands on again, goes forward. Very difficult ball to take. And you can see the umpires are not hesitating to blow the whistle on the free kick. And I think it's Favretto that might have given that one away in a little bit of youthful exuberance. To Ben, I think that should be Bell Perio, is it? I've got By Perio on my card. I'm going to go with Ben Bell Perio. Good to see him playing.
Could be, let me check.
Back into the side this week. Give me his history, Phil, when you get a minute.
Belperio, 7 games in the league, 6 in the Rezzies, a former Norwood under 18. Did spend most of his juniors at Walkerville with a year at the Unley Jets.
There you go. What about that kick? Wowee, that is gone 50 metres plus. Jesse O'Brien, well, I reckon he's missed 2. He hit the top of the post with the left foot earlier in the quarter.
Now, was that O'Brien with the kick, or was that Belperio?
I'm going to say that's Belperio
okay.
there.
No, I'm just checking with you because
I think
I wasn't looking. I was getting your stats.
You might be right, actually. That's Belperio that's kicked it. Yep. Okay. What a beautiful kick of the ball he is, and that is his first and St. Peter's 5th. So 2 goals scored by St. Peter's this quarter, and Goodwood Saints 1.
Might just be a game high lead. I think it was 19 at one point in the 3 goals won before Goodwood scored their first point. 20-point lead in these conditions is probably more 5 goals than 3. Again, St. Peter's with the clearance. Didn't really, no one in particular though. Plenty of time for the Saints. Lobby had the front position. He slipped. Hausbauer slipped over.
Nice ball control.
Some deft movement with the ball by Favretto. Bit of class on a day like today. Meanwhile, Lobby's hand passed it straight to Duncan. Through some hands, back to Duncan. His kick sets Suckley. Mitchell Ataki's up for it, although his hand pass is intercepted by Favretto. There was almost elements of skill in part of that play, Jacko. He's trying to break out.
It looked like players playing on ice. That's what it looked like for me.
Yes.
It looked like they were all going to tumble over. Most of them kept their feet in the end. Carter gets it, goes to Favretto. He can't take it. St. Peter's away again from the stoppage. But Kyle Kirk there for Goodwood Saints. They now come out the far side. Lucas Hughes comes charging at the ball 100 mile an hour. He's got Tommy Anderson there to support him. Gives it to him. He lays it along the line towards Burgess. Can't take it cleanly. Good pressure. Each side look like they're playing an extra player behind the ball. Now we're going to go with a spare for Goodwood Saints in Slape. Nope, we're all manned up 1-on-1, which is good to see.
Throw in. Carter. The two-handed slap down.
That's a free kick.
Not seen in many ruck textbooks.
These are Burgess' conditions, aren't they?
Yeah.
If they're Goodwood to win, I think he's got to be the forward that's going to need to craft a few goals today. No Hughes. It's not Angus Rana's weather. Good mark, though. Is that Will Clark again? He's got a good pair of hands. You can see why they're trusting him with a full forward position and giving him some room. That's a beautiful mark.
Clark.
You can have a look at this in the replay.
So what you got to do here, aim for the left-hand goal post and watch it.
And took some courage there, Phil. Went back with the fly to the ball.
Yeah, I'm not just really sure how he really is kicking into the teeth of it, I would think.
Going to be a good player, this kid. Not sure how old he is. But, that was an impressive mark.
Don't get that information anymore.
No. You calling this?
Oh, no, you can call it.
Right, well, his angle's not the easiest to kick from on that boundary, but I tell you what, hasn't made an iota of difference for him because he has no problem nailing that. That is his first, and I like the look of this lad. Doesn't look like an overly big unit. He might be a 6-footer. Who's that medium? He's that Will McAdam, or is it McAdam Will? What's his name? The plays for the Crows. He's that sort of height.
McCussy?
No, McAdam. I'm talking about Shane McAdam.
Shane McCarricker.
So he's gone full forward now. Rana pushing up with Toby Schulz. So probably maybe try and take Toby Schulz out of the play and give Clark a little bit of free space. He's done it well.
Margin back to 14 points.
Free kick.
Be Goodwood to go forward. Carter says, give it to me, give it to me. On the tea saucer. Heads for that outer side. Seems to be the favourite way most possessions have gone inside 50 today. Rana couldn't take the mark. Kick around the body by, I think Heitman only finds, might be Facey.
Yeah, it is. Tom Facey.
He's, I think, making his league debut. Played 8 games in the Rezzies, 3 in the C's last year.
Right.
After 13 in the Rezzies so far this year.
Well, good luck to Tom Facey. I'm sure I've come across that last name before. Phil Facey, yourself?
Can't remember it offhand, but anyway.
St. Peter's are inside forward 50, pretty much, but Goodwood Saints, really good pressure there. Holsbauer can't get onto this. Going to have to, his work cut out, I should say, trying to catch up with Mason Nagel. He lays it off to Jake Sutcliffe. I tell you what, have a look at that kick. That has gone 60 metres on the left foot. We'll need to have a look at the replay.
Well, we do have our Simon Black Academy play of the day, and I reckon that's a St. Peter's contender.
Mark that one down, Phil. See the handball here, goes forward. Not a lot of pressure there, so he says, why not have a crack by myself? No one in the goal square. Goes over the top of Mitchell and Jack Luders, and wowee, that is a great goal for St. Peter's.
He barely had a chance to look at the goal before he kicked that.
Yeah.
He was facing the wrong way for most of that lead-up.
Only player to have multiple goals at this stage, Phil, is that right?
Yeah, first multiple goal scorer. We've only had 9 goals so far in an expected low-scoring affair.
And they've almost doubled the score. They're at 6-5, Saints, Goodwood Saints on 3-3, so 1 point off doubling their score, which is a fair indication of where the game sits at the moment.
Back in the middle, Carter's tap is sort of smothered by Olschwager. But it will be Anderson who will get a partial clearance. Now it ends up in the hands of Heitman. His kick inside 50. Does it find a target? It
Good
does.
mark.
Well done by Kyle Kirk.
That's a beauty, isn't it?
1 to make position and 2 to hold on to it.
He can't kick it from there, Phil, can he? He's going back as if he's going to have a shot. He's missed
someone-
the lead.
Someone hasn't told him.
Well, he's taken so long to get back, and this is the coaching thing. He's walking back slowly, and he's missed the lead from Sam Lauby. And now he ends up going, the hot spot, and he's missed the space. It doesn't matter.
Has snapped it
Power.
front and square. Goal for goal contest.
Wow, left foot. Ben Holzbauer, beautiful finish. They're just going back to the young kid on the far side. When you know you can't make your distance, you've got to get back quickly for that exact situation. When a beautiful hole opened up, you could argue Sam Lauby shouldn't have probably led while he was still walking backwards. Yes. But the point being that probably Sam Lauby knew that he should have been back on the mark, ready to come forward with the kick. In the end, not a problem for Goodwood Saints, but a good learning curve there, I would have thought, for the coach, Luke Donaldson. Carter is dominating in the ruck, and I tell you what, looks like he may have hurt Ned Olschwager, who is rolling around on the ground still, struggling to get up. And Carter's over at this contest. Might even end up getting a kick here. This player's an extra midfielder for Goodwood Saints when the ball hits the ground. Good news for the St. Peter's folks at home. Olschwager back off the ground.
Yeah.
Who compete in this contest.
Yeah, if I had to go a half in ruck with Tommy Carter, I'd be a bit sore inside by the end of it. 22-minute mark of the second quarter. Game between second and third, and right now the visitors are leading the way by a decent margin.
There's the kick from Jake Sutcliffe.
Yeah, Jesse O'Brien, the clean gather, and then Scott Gleeson came in.
Twice this quarter he's been nailed in the tackle.
Yeah.
Well, he probably thinks he's strong enough to be able to shrug that tackle off. So good defence from Goodwood Saints. Tackling really good.
You better hope there's not a turnover, because Jock McClay is all by himself with about 20 metres just at the second. Towards the wing, that's where all the players are. And it's not coming out of there in a hurry. So we've pretty much gone between this 2 and 3 goal margin this quarter. Goodwood have kicked 3 goals, as have St. Peter's.
Scara then away from the contest. They'll need him to get some of his as much footy as he can possibly get because he is a good finisher of the ball normally. Favretto goes with it one-handed, trying to steer the ball forward, ends up falling over. St. Peter's keep their feet back. Again now goes forward. Louis Whitelock in really good position on his left foot. Here comes this side of the ground, Louis. He does. He goes to Jack Carter, who's run off of the big fella, Jock McClay. It's the next kick that's important. Jeez, it's 1 on 3. If he doesn't mark it, Favretto's going to be in trouble. He's in trouble, folks. St. Peter's get it. They come down. Have a look at that kick. There's the difference when they go forward. McClay gets it, lays it off to Mitchell. He's forced to kick under a bit of pressure, but have a look who's there. The double goal kicker, Sutcliffe. He can't control it, though. Louis Whitelock takes it cleanly. Heads out to his brother, Tommy Anderson. He steps inboard. Good kick, good finish.
Oh, I love a somersault.
Out the forward roll from Mason Ellis.
Put that in the opening credits.
Yes, an absolute beauty. Unfortunately, the kick wasn't of the same calibre. And Toby Schulz, and you go, how did he know to be there, Toby Schulz? I mean,
Just does, doesn't he?
it was a poor kick, and he was in the right spot.
He's been
Good
doing
kick,
that
and
for
he's out of
years.
position. So Whitelock got it again. Watch the kick into the corridor. Josh Schlape plays on quickly, lowers the eyes, looking for Burgess. Keeps his feet, which he generally does do. Good core strength. Again, St. Peter's have the answers.
They're on here.
And they are indeed. It's Ben Belperio. We've seen him kick. Have a look. He's going to Lukey Mitchell, who will be lining up for his second, and a really good transition. This, Phil, is a contender for the Simon Black Academy play of the day.
Oh, look, as a team play, yes, as a single highlight, I think Sutcliffe, even if Mitchell puts this one on the train line,
All right.
even if he kicks it and it lands on top of the train and the train goes into the city.
Okay, I'll give you that. You record that. So Luke Mitchell for his second, straight in front, 40 metres out from goal. Didn't look like he hit that. Sweet, he has. What would I know? That's his second. And more importantly for St. Peter's, that is their 7th and maintains that 3-goal margin in front of Goodwood Saints, which they are having trouble bracing.
All right, yeah, 4 goals to 3 St. Peter's in this quarter. Took what I think was a 14-point quarter-time lead and made it 20.
Mm-hmm.
With half-time imminent, the first quarter went 30 minutes.
Stay tuned, folks. Lambo's got a good interview at half-time.
Oh, okay.
Not sure who it's with, but
But it's going to be good.
you'll find someone in the crowd.
Looking forward to half-time.
Yeah.
Get to finally have this chicken burger that I've been looking at for a whole half. One in a microwave.
Big.
Kicking it side forward 50. That's a good grab. Taken by Crockett. Already got a goal.
Big hit on St. Peter's there. I think that was just coming away from the contest now.
Couple of players making a point to the young lad that the goals are that way, not the direction he kicked it.
Maybe Jack Kelch. Looks a bit sore. Got up okay though in the end.
Throwing a bit on the short side. Grabbed by...
Toby Schulz got the footy.
So Schulz changed numbers. Yeah, that definitely is Schulz, you're quite right. Recognise that glove anywhere.
Yes. Good day for a glove.
Yeah. They work it beautifully around defensively, St. Peter's, and then with the... Why are they bothering asking for deliberate? Do they not know?
Don't know.
We are round 15 into the season. Has there been a deliberate call all year? No. And I think the umpires are rightfully not playing the Ticky Touchwood stuff today.
Yeah, and Ned Ulschwag had a little bit to do in that play there, and he's had some good moments, hasn't he? Up against Rana in this contest. Rana gets it, lays it forward, goes to Heitman, hooks it around the corner. Schultz goes back courageously with a fly to the ball. Goodwood Saints had an opportunity there through, might have been Burgess. No, I think it was Lucas Hughes, just couldn't quite keep her on track. Lucas, I wonder if he's the brother of Jacob Hughes, who's actually the captain of Goodwood Saints, or joint captain, I think, with Benny Holzbauer this year. And as I mentioned, not sure he even played a game, maybe one this year before doing his knee. Toby Schulz. Oh, unsure a little bit, Toby, what to do here. He was just building up the stats, one or the other. That kick, not the greatest. I'll tell you what, I'm thinking Toby was just saying, I'm glad that's out of our back 50 because it looked a bit nervous there at one stage, Phil.
Yep, Goodwood Saints are trying to get one last goal before the half-time break. 28 minutes gone. The balling's going to land right between the 50-metre arc and the centre square. Olswager the thump from behind. That was, I think, Matsuliadis who got the clean pick up. Might have got it again, actually. Kicks for touch. Now look, while there is no last disposal, oh, hang on. Out on the full. Or was it a throw-in? Hang on. No, boundary umpire is claiming it. It's going to be a St. Peter's free. Well, I'm completely confused with that, Jacko.
Yeah, in the end, St. Peter's have it, and they're now inside 50. The ball's gone over the back. They are a chance for a goal here. If that can stay on track, oh! That's twice they've hit the post this quarter. That one cannons into the left post. Same one, Jesse O'Brien struck right at the top. And I'll tell you what, if they lose this game by more than 2 points, Jeff Riddle will chop that post down. You got a chainsaw, Jeff?
The old 1958 Sandford Grand Final.
Neil Curley.
Yep. May he rest in peace.
Yep.
It's going to be a throw next to the scoreboard that gives the margin at 20 points. The Sip and Save scoreboard, 1 hour delivery, 7 days a week. 29.5 gone in the second quarter. Olswager try the tap from behind.
That was a nice tap.
Hamish Allen had a teammate though. They're moving it forward, those Saints, and every time they get within 50 in any sort of space, they're going for the long goal. That's why.
Well done.
Goodwood have got to feel under siege right now.
That Jack Ludus, was it, that touched that on the line? I think it was, Phil.
Jack
He did it well, didn't he?
Slate, the two defenders. We're out to a 21-point lead, which I think, Jacko, is a game high.
Yeah. This time Slapert kicks in, gets plenty of distance on that. Well roved at the front of the pack from Goodwood Saints. I reckon it was Lauby, follows his work up. Unlucky. He's been tackled around the head. He's remonstrated. The kid a bit stiff because just prior to that the umpire had already given a free kick to St. Peter's. So wasted. Now they go again, St. Peter's. Inside 50. Good fly at that one. No one takes it. Again, Goodwood Saints first on the crumb. We'll have a ball up just inside forward 50. You've got 30.5 gone. Can't be a lot of time on this quarter. Can they get anything? Nice hit. Here's an opportunity now. Good handball on the left foot. Hamish Allen. Oh, just can't keep it on line. 1 point. St. Peter's out to 7 goals. 8 now exactly double. Oh, no, it's not. There's 4. 4-4. 1 goal short of being exactly double.
22-point margin. Saints have kicked 3 behinds in succession. Had one of those been a goal, that would have almost been your icing on the cake. But as it is, it's a 22-point lead at the main break. The goal scorers for St. Peter's, Sutcliffe and Luke Mitchell with 2 singles to Bill Perrier, Hamish Allen, Charlie Dowling. For Goodwood Saints, missing 1, Crockett, Will Clark and Sam Lauby, the last one.
Yeah, they've kicked 4, haven't they? I'm missing 1.
Josh Slate, maybe? I'll check and come back to you with that. Certainly Saints in front by 22 points. That is St. Peter's Old Collegians. Here with Sean Jackson, Craig Lambert, Phil Hurd and the filming footy crew. Will be back after the break.
G'day guys, the Simon Blake Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University. where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a three-year Bachelor of Business. Around that, we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Welcome to half time today at Goody Oval. What a game we got so far. St Peter's and Goody Saints. St Peter's are leading 7-8-50 to Goodwood Saints 4 goals for 28. But most importantly, my half-time interview, I've got 2 legends of the club. On my left, I've got Jason Fleming. How are you, Fleming?
Very good to be here, thank you.
No worries. And on my right-hand side, I've got Jason Goods. Correct?
Jason Goods.
Goodsy, is that correct?
I wish I was that good.
That's what you told me.
Not that good. Simon Brooks.
I knew it was Simon, mate. But before he said Jason, and I thought, oh, we got 2 J's, so sorry. I've only had a hot chocolate today. Imagine if I had 4 beers. So, Jace, tell me a little bit about your history with the club. And I hear at the moment you're a C-grade coach at the club. You're doing a great job. And my lad lives with one of your outstanding stars in Jack Morgan in your team. So, what does that say?
Well, Jack Morgan is a good kid, so obviously he's getting a good grounding with your son, which is nice. But yeah, in terms of my time here at Goody Saints, so been here for about 20 years. So I was a youngster from the country. So what
part of the country, mate?
Over on the Eyre Peninsula, so over near Streaky Bay.
Good seafood there, mate.
Oh, mate, some of the best. And yeah, so been here for about 20 years and, played A grade, B grade, and now just finding a bit of an opportunity to give back to the club.
Fantastic, mate. And you played yourself, and I hear you played in the premiership side?
Yes, played in a few premiership sides. One of the only players that have played in the A grade, B grade, and C grade flags.
Fantastic, mate.
So, yeah, it's pretty lucky to be fortunate to play for such a successful club.
Did you play in any premierships with my man on the right here?
Yes, one of my A grade flag in 2005 played with Simon Brooks. We were manning the wings together, so a formidable force. Fantastic.
Brooksy, welcome to the interview, mate. Just a bit of background yourself, mate. How did you get to the club and how long you been here and what sort of role do you play at the club now?
Currently B grade coach. Very similar vintage to Flem. Been here for about 20 years. Trevor Hill got me out from Sturt back in the day when had 1 year under him at under 19s at Sturt, and then he coached here the following year. So that's sort of how I got my way out here, and yeah, just sort of progressed into the coaching role this year. So had a year off last year, and yeah, back into it.
Fantastic. And how many games have you played, mate? Will you play with the club?
If you count filling in for the C grade today, I think it's about 305. I think.
There was. We just spoke briefly what Jacko heard too. Is that a club record, or somebody has sniffed it out?
Anthony Dempsey has overtaken my A grade games, but he's just filling in with the C's as well. So
good on you, Demo.
But yeah.
What I love about the Goodwood Football Saints Football Club is that your depth, your junior, your culture, you have it all here. You got beautiful surroundings, you got great new club rooms. Why wouldn't people want to come and play footy here?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. It is something that we've been obviously working on long before, and we've got a past players function out there that we're just sort of building on what these guys set up many years before us. So and you touched on I think our juniors this year we're probably looking at least 30 to 40% of our senior group are juniors of the club. So yeah, it's a really good place to, I guess, that sort of talent pool's really pushing us through and helping us with our senior program. So,
and
not only with the men's but also with the women's as well. So,
and hence your junior teams and the girls, especially with your juniors, they've always been in finals. We have a lot of teams in the finals, and that's your future of the club. And what I know when I coached like Only Jets juniors years ago, coming to Goodwood Saints, preparation, the atmosphere. You actually set the scene here, and it's just a magnificent club. So, Flo, tell me a little bit about the C grade. How are they travelling this year, mate?
The C grade are doing really well. So you touched on before about the depth of the club, and that's something that we're seeing a lot of. Given the landscape around COVID and the like. The ability to be able to find opportunities to retain a lot of players is just a testament to the club, the culture, and whatnot. So yeah, we've certainly found a lot of depth. We're travelling pretty good. Got a great bunch of kids that are very responsive, and they're like sponges. They just soak it up. Anything you tell them, they go and do. It's just a great bunch of lads. Really enjoying it.
Fantastic. Just with Luke Donaldson coaching of the A grade, so no doubt he works with yourself and Flemo, because no doubt 3 coaches together. So is there team rules from the A grade that goes down through to the B grade to the C grade, or Flemo, you've got your way of coaching, of course, but if there is some club rules, they know, like if they're coming from the C grade to the B grade or the B grade to the A grade, everybody's on the same page?
Yeah, absolutely. I think both Flem and myself being sort of newish coaches, Duck's been really good with sort of allowing us to have our own little bit of flair and maybe change things up slightly, but absolutely there's still things that we try to work on from a ABC group. That, like you said, we've had lots of movement up and down the grades this year. We've had a couple of blokes that have gone from C grade to A grade. So you're trying to have those similar setups and just expectations or behaviours that we want to try and portray across all our teams. So
absolutely, we want to have that seamless transition amongst the grades. So if we can maintain those structures, those basic structures throughout, I think it goes a long way with the players knowing what they're doing when they're playing up or down.
What I love about Goodwood Football Club is that you have plenty of volunteers. You have people who work behind the scenes to make it a successful club. Craig Scott's been around for the juniors for years. Now with the seniors, I hear he's moving on. So is there going to be somebody who's going to take, I guess, Craig's role when he moves on?
I assume so. He's done a mountain of work. I think if you put it all down in a job resume, it'd be a pretty hard big shoes to fill, so to speak. But Craig Scott's been an amazing person to the footy club, and I guess he's really set the theme this year about giving back. And you mentioned or touched on the volunteers about what sort of makes any club tick, really. I think we're very, very grateful to have so many great volunteers that do the work that they do and just let, I guess, us coach and the players play, which is, I guess, what we're here to try and do. So,
and also it's a great family club too, I feel. And you got, the setup at the club now is 10 out of 10, which is great. I'd love to talk to you a lot longer today, but what I've loved about having an interview with a reserves coach and a C grade coach, you've given us a little bit your roles, what you do within a football club. It's not always about the A grade coach, because without your support and yours, Flo, well, there's no backbone in the club. And without a backbone in the club, there's no club. So just looking outside today, the weather's a bit overcast, we had a little bit of rain. Flo, we're talking to you in 45 minutes and there's a result. How can Saints win the game from here, mate?
Well, I think it's just their intent. I think they've certainly shown that they've got the skill set. They certainly need to have that desire now to put it all into practice. Like I said before, I think it's fairly even across the board. We just need to capitalise on those final opportunities.
No, well, look, from behalf of the Adelaide Football League and Dartfish, we appreciate you both coming today, and all the best for the future, for the rest of the year. No doubt, if the C grade get up and the B grade and the A grade get up, she's a crazy month at the Goodwood Footy Club. But thanks a lot for your efforts today, and we appreciate everything you do. So have a great day, boys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, boys. Lovely chat from Lambo with the. Now the Goodwood Saints boys are out early. I reckon the Duck might have had a bit of a chat to him at half time and said we need a lift. Second quarter, not as bad as the first, so probably the direction they're heading is the right one, Phil, but still feel like the game at 3 goals is equivalent to a 5 or 6 goal margin, so they've got some work to do, Goodwood Saints.
It's quite a head start that Goodwood have given St. Peter's. We did spend a bit of time during the half-time break to locate that fourth mystery goal scorer, and it was, of course, Ben Helsbauer who had the snap front and square. Late in the second quarter, Goodwood's last goal.
So back in the middle, the same 2 combatants from the start of the game. Ulchwagger for St. Peter's, but Carter again from Goodwood Saints wins the ruck. Can they get something from this ruck tap? Looks like they might have won a free kick. It's gone back to the middle. Yes, it's Goodwood Saints' Kyle Kirk. He lowers his eyes, tries to hit Clark up on the lead. He can't take it. St. Peter's again repel nicely, but Favretto in really good position for Goodwood Saints. I want him to play in the style of game he normally plays if they're to get in and win this game. So Favretto looking to put it long in the direction of Rana. He goes there now. Oh, what a mark from the big fella. Angus Rana has given Goodwood Saints exactly what they had been missing in the first half, and that ability to take a good, strong, contested mark in the air. He's the man that's got to be able to do that, and that's a terrific mark against Toby Schulz, who's one of the better defenders in the competition. Let's have a look at the replay here. Yes, nice mark. In amongst 2 players, actually. In amongst Jesse O'Brien and Toby Schulz. Let's have a look at the kick. Yes, indeed. That is a great start for Goodwood Saints. We are 1 minute and 13 seconds inside the first 2 minutes of the second half, and first blood goes to the big Angus Rana, and a much needed goal for Goodwood Saints.
Well, I think you've got the Goodwood Saints player of the day thus far, not neatly tied up with the clunk and a decent conversion from the sidelines as well. Is that the spark that will get Goodwood back into the contest? It's back to a 16-point margin within 3 goals. You think if Goodwood are going to make a move, Jacko, this has to be the quarter with the breeze, whatever it's worth, at their backs.
Yep, they want them another one, won't they? They've got to get greedy. Holzbauer here a chance. Plenty of numbers around this contest. Ellis hacks it forward in direction of Rana. Burgess runs onto it. Again, good pressure from good forward pressure from Goodwood Saints, which we didn't see. Look at that. They're at him. They're at him at the moment. They've started well. All of a sudden, it just feels like they're under a bit of pressure, St. Peter's, which we weren't seeing in the first quarter. Louis Whitelock around the body, looking for Rana again. Oh dear, didn't matter. Oh, it's cannoned in the post by Mason Ellis, was it? No, it might have been Clark.
Those posts have been
Clark
given
it
a
was.
fair old workout this afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, good start by Angus Rana, though. They'd give him a bit of confidence. I wonder why he didn't start the game up there in the first quarter when they had the breeze. Big Tommy Carter around the corner, back again towards Rana. But, geez, that's a terrific mark taken by St. Peter's.
15.
Jack Kelch, yeah, it's a beauty in a pack.
In a big pack of players. So he's going to bring it towards the broadcast side. Whitelock forces it forward. In the end, just sock it off the ground. That's Jock McClay, just keeping his feet far better than his opponent on that occasion.
Jack Carter.
And gained some yardage.
Good contest forward because Jock McClay hasn't scored a goal and a half, Phil. Which
He hasn't been inside 50 to score a goal.
They do look like they're playing Mitchell a bit deeper.
It's
at
been
the
a
moment.
fascinating setup. It certainly worked for the Saints, who kicked the first 3 goals of the game in about the first 12 minutes of the match.
Good handball from Scara to Ellis. Oh, Rana dropped the one he should have taken.
That was
one.
the easiest one of the lot, wasn't it?
Yep. And as a consequence, Jack Kelch gets another mark in the back half of the ground for St. Peter's. That'll be giving him some confidence. Got to take those marks, Angus Rana. So Mason Ellis, Anthony Scara. Michael Pope for Saints brings it inboard. Bradley Coulson on the left foot towards Scott Biddle. He can't take it. Player screaming for holding the ball. Gee, it'd be a tough decision to be given holding the ball there against Goodwood Saints.
Got a couple of sip and save scores around the grounds at half-time. Teacher Gully leading Glenunga by 13 points. Prince Alfred and Rocks tied at half-time.
Right.
And Brighton leading Old Ignatians 29-3, a.k.a. 3 behinds to Old Ignatians, 3 goals, 11 to Brighton.
Yeah, I'm worried about Old Ignatians. They seem to have dropped off a little bit the last month or so. And I think they're going to struggle to make finals. But more importantly, if they don't start finding some mojo, they might
them
find
and
themselves
Rocks
back
for that
in
ninth
Div 2.
spot. Certainly hard to see Paynham not getting relegated.
Yep, especially after controversy this week, Phil. We'll talk about that another day.
Well, aren't we still at the alleged controversy stage? Or has
Absolutely
it all
we
gone
are.
public? Okay.
Absolutely. There's an investigation on Wednesday night, one of their players. Salary cap breaching possibilities. So that's not over yet.
Well, I guess the main thing is let's find out before the end of the minor round.
Yeah, it'd be nice
good to know.
Well, it'd be nice for them to be able to put it to bed. But anyway, back to this game. Mason Nagel has it for St. Peter's. It'll be the first time they've been deep inside their 50 this quarter. We are nearly 6 minutes played. He's making out like he's going to have a shot, right? If he kicks, then the breeze is not a significant factor. If he kicks the distance, that is, and he does, and he lays it up to the top of the square. No one reads that play at all well.
I think he intended to lay it up to the top of the square. That's a claw! It's the post.
Who kicked that? Was it Jesse O'Brien? Or Sutcliffe? Might have been Sutcliffe, actually.
Certainly that sideways breeze, but the way to score a goal down that end seems to be from the tennis club side. Sort of going that way negates the breeze to some effect. St. Peter's will have a chance to go forward again. That kick was from Hargraves. Now they're double teaming a Goodwood player. That's going to hurt because there's Jock McClay on one side.
Yeah.
Reckon, is that Mitchell on the other? No, it's not Mitchell.
No.
Louis Whitelock's taken that a fair bit of time over his career. Olschwager and Carter, I don't think they've had a rest from going in ruck, have they? Or is
certainly Olschwager is getting relieved
from Jock
McClay.
Yeah.
And Angus Rana went into the ruck for a very short period in the first half for Goodwood Saints.
Tommy Carter doesn't usually need a break, but he doesn't mind going up forward and getting an odd goal here or there either.
Yep. This time Goodwood Saints, intercepted by James Hargraves. He goes deep into the forward line. Carter steams, Jack Ludus steams out at it. No one able to take it. Free kick ends up getting paid to Luke Mitchell, is it? I reckon it is Luke Mitchell.
Well, I'll give him a... He's finally got one. He's taken endless marks today. Yeah. He's finally got one that he's in range. And he's kicked 2.
Yeah, well, this has put him as the only player on the ground. If he kicks this for 3, Jake Sutcliffe, of course, has 2 already. So Luke Mitchell was as important as any player on the ground in the first half. I thought he was a terrific back into the side this week. Gives them a real strong focal point along with Jock McLeay. And he has nailed that one, has he? I reckon he has.
Yeah.
He has indeed. That's good kicking for goal from Luke Mitchell today. And
hope he's got room for a beanie.
He's certainly tracking that way, Phil, but it's a lot of game to be played. We're only 8 minutes into the third quarter. Plenty of time for someone from plenty of time for Burgess from Goodwood Saints. We haven't seen a goal from today. We haven't seen a goal from who else is up there that
Tommy
might
Anderson
score a goal? Tommy Anderson normally scores a goal. Yeah, Lucas Hughes. We haven't seen one from him
Well, there's
yet.
only been 5 scored, so...
Yeah, most blokes.
Exactly. There's 16 that haven't scored a goal for Goodwood Saints.
All right, don't rub it in. You made your
I'm
point.
just helping you. I'm helping you out, Jacko. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
From the centre clearance, again, St. Peter's concede some distance. Had the numbers to get it through, but in the end, the combination of Hargraves and Facey couldn't do it. Kick along the ground by Goodwood goes out of bounds. They'll get a stoppage inside their 50. The wind's picked up.
It has, yeah.
The gum trees out that side are flying angrily around. Yeah, if you've got anything around the place loose today, batten it down. Because it might be in the next postcode by the time you find it.
There's a couple of marquees under serious threat. The Pirate Life marquee must be a sponsor of
That's the
Goodwood
barbecue marquee. That's the important one.
Yeah.
It's all right if the punters don't have shelter, but the barbecue you've got to look after. Again, a big pack around the ball. It's been that kind of day. They're working it well through hands here. Got some numbers. Can they get the loose planter? They're coming out of defence. They do it well. Getting in the way though. Reece Slate ran straight into Michael Pope and too high. Had to be a free for something. If it wasn't too high, it would have been holding the ball. No mean feat for Michael Pope to get Slate high. There's a bit of a height differential. Inside a very crowded... I mean, look, they could have raffled that, the Saints. How many defenders did they have back there? And I reckon that's just a sign, Jacko, of some good work rate.
Yeah, it's just Hargraves with the ball now. It's I'd see, you can't see the number, but just building up the stats. Then went for the kick off the ground. That's not great play because Heitman ends up with it. Tries to kick around the corner looking for Rana. Can make a strong contest here. That was indeed James Hargraves, who played most of this year on the ball for St. Peter's and has been their best on baller, but today has spent most of his time across half back. We're out the far side of the ground now. They go to the left foot, St. Peter's. Scar is there for Goodwood Saints. Can he get a tackle on? He can't. It's too easy there for St. Peter's. Well, then now they run into a little bit of pressure. Got a player on the inside here if they can get it to him. Bradley Coulson running into an open goal. Oh, he does. Keeps it on track, and that's pretty good play from St. Peter's, but I reckon the tackle with the initial defensive pressure from Scars out the far side was left a little bit to be desired.
That was a coast-to-coast play. I'm not sure how far back their replay will go.
And we'll go to Lambo.
It's against the breeze, Jack. It's picked up a bit, but they've got all the answers at the moment.
Yeah, so it's fairly strong, the breeze still, but yeah, St. Peter's, well, they're out to 9-9, and Goody Saints 5-6. You reckon if Goodwood on the scoreboard, their name should be Goodwood, not Saints, when you're playing against a side that's got Saints in it?
Well, of course, it is the merger of the Goodwood Football Club, which were the Tigers, and St. Raphael's.
Right.
Hence why you've got the black and gold of Goodwood and the red and white of St. Raphael's.
So who scored the last goal, Phil, for St. Peter's?
That was Brad Coulson.
Indeed, it was number 4.
Game high.
Nice passage of play, wasn't it? Transfer from one end to the other.
Game high, 27-point margin. It's all for Goodwood to do now. I don't reckon St. Peter's are too far from wrapping this one up.
Well, unlucky not to get a free kick. And in the end, he's got a free kick for pushing it back. He could have got one for around the neck. Young Nicholas Crockart, the kid. But once again, St. Peter's, and I think that again might be James Hargraves. No, this time it is Jake Sutcliffe. Beautiful left footer. Goes to Kelch. Now they go to the boundary line. Long down the line. Carter in good position for Goodwood Saints. No one able to mark it. Ball spills out of bounds. That was Toby Schulz, the veteran, who now has the job on Angus Rana, who started the quarter exceptionally well and then just dropped that simple mark. But I think he's going to need to stand up and take a couple of good marks and kick some goals this quarter if they're to win the game. Carter over the back, does what he does best, roves the ball himself. Now it's with Scar, I think, looking for Angus Rana. Couldn't mark the chest mark. Free kick, holding the ball. Wowee, wowee. I didn't see that either. Did you see that?
Not really. I was keeping an eye on the St. Peter's running with a loose man in defence and where they positioned up. Let's have a look at the replay here. Picked it up.
Is it Heitman that's got the ball?
Tom Facey really didn't have any time in control of that for mine, but
No, it's not Heitman.
could be Kirk, I think.
Kirk, is it? Right, okay. So about 40 metres out. Unusual kicking action, but I tell you what, doesn't make any difference whatsoever. That is a beautiful finish, and more importantly, a much-needed goal to Goodwood Saints. That pushes them out to 6 goals, 6 trailing St. Peter's 9-9. So, once again, if you're Goodwood Saints camp, you know, they haven't played their best footy by any stretch of the imagination today, but they are only 3 goals off the pace. But I'm just not sure where they're going to find the spark from, because every time they've got to this 3-goal margin...
Correction on the goal scorer was Nick Crocker. That's his second.
Yeah, good effort by the kid coming up from the B grade best player last week.
Just saw a 4 at the corner of my eye, missed the one in front of it.
Yep.
The leaves now blowing across the oval.
So a rare thing. McClay wins the tap for St. Peter's and they win the clearance here. He's got it. He lays it straight down the middle of the ground. Out comes big Jack Carter. Kicks it out the far side of space. Good kick. Look at the carry on that with the win, folks. Scar is in good position if he can take it. He does. Nice left footer normally. Gee whiz, just didn't get the kick to Will Clark high enough. And that would have been a badly needed opportunity for Goodwood Saints under no pressure. The wind is really blowing up here. It's hard for us to pick it sitting up in the room.
We don't feel it at all.
No, we must thank Goodwood Saints. So one of the few clubs that gives us a room like this. Sam Lowby around the corner. Oh, Giro Deer going towards Will Clark and couldn't get under it.
I might add, it's possibly the only club that has a room like this.
That's right. Athelston might, now that they've built their new...
Yes.
What do they
Get
call
promoted, Athelston. Let's come out there and enjoy it.
They call it the Dream House or something like that.
The Dream Factory.
Yeah, something like that. Not the Taj Mahal, that's Ross Trevor.
Yeah, just down the road.
The Resort, that's what they call it.
Oh, the Resort. Okay.
Yeah. If Goodwood Saints have got a name for their room, Phil, or maybe we should give them one. What would we call it?
Here?
Yeah. It's one of the nicer clubs around. We haven't christened a name for it.
No, we haven't, have we?
What are you thinking, Cap on?
Okay. You call, I'll think.
Burgess underneath that one. Gee whiz, that's a good mark by McClay. Now releases the handball to the far side. He gives it to Nagel. He comes down the line short. Goodwood Saints have got some numbers here. This will end up with Josh Slape. He's forced to come back to the boundary line, which doesn't make it easy for him. Now goes looking for Rana. Good contest from him that time, caught behind. Oh, too high. Got to be on Sam Lowby there, I would have thought. Yep, and he's won that free kick right in front of the Pirate Life tent. So you'd imagine by this stage, a few of the old Goodwood Saints boys would have had a couple of Chevys and would be giving that St. Peter's bloke some encouragement. Although a couple of the real stalwarts of Goodwood Saints not here today. The president bludgeon up in Queensland, and Andrew Forrest.
G'day to Craig Scott if you're watching. I'm sure you are.
Yeah, Andrew Forrest will be at work somewhere earning $1 million. So Sam Lowby on the boundary line. Looks okay off the boot. Oh, it comes back in the end, but just offline early. Would have been his third and would have been a really important game. And they're coming. If you're sitting at home watching this one, folks, Goodwood Saints are coming, but they're going to need to come this quarter. 17 minutes gone. They still trail by 3.5 goals. Here they come again. Tommy Carter, short, lowers his eyes beautifully to Tommy Anderson. I reckon he could make the distance with the breeze here, Tommy. Decides not to, lays it up to the top of the square. Watch this one go to the back. It doesn't. Oh, McClay takes it. Gives it to Thomas Matsuliadis, and again, St. Peter's are good enough to bring the ball out. Did you like that name, Paul, under pressure?
You did that very well, Jacko.
Tommy Matsuliadis. Here we are. Oof. Ball goes out of bounds. Wasted opportunity for Goodwood Saints.
Right in front of Lambo, observing away.
You get a kick?
No, he's behaving himself. Just thought he was going to interview the guys coming off on the interchange there for a sec. Throw in, true centre wing, broadcast side. Jock McClay up against Carter. McClay wins that. Kicks to forward 50, thumped by the fence. Straight to Saints though, they go inside 50 to a one-on-one contest. Oldswagger couldn't quite hang on to it.
Well done by Jack Carter though.
Yeah, Jack Carter has been pretty good in defence all day. Comes to Coulson, he's already got one. High kick for Biddle, and this is surely going to go to the right-hand side. It does. Doesn't even score. Saints clear to the tennis club.
Yeah, good pressure from Goodwood Saints. Reece Lape in great position. And able to hit Tommy Anderson free. He's just taking his time, Tommy, having a look at his options. Goes beautifully down the wing. Kyle Kirk. I reckon number 4 used to be Jacob Hughes' number. That's why I'm a little bit confused with that one. But he's been pretty solid today, Kirk. Decides to change the angle a little bit and squares it up to Jack Luders. He now goes down the corridor. It's the captain, Benny Holzbauer. He lowers the eyes nicely. They've retained possession of the ball well here, Goodwood Saints. Just shifting the St. Peter's defence. Another nice kick. Just sometimes you can be just a fraction off. But have a look at Reece Lape charge at that ball. Does it well. Plays on quickly. Ends up getting the ball back. It's this kick now. Rana does enough to bring the ball to ground this time. Good. And Sam Lowby might get another free kick there. He doesn't. A little bit on there. Toby Schul's pushing his weight around. Lucas Hughes in there.
Lovely attack by Reece Slade on the football earlier.
And unfortunately we can't hear the encouragement coming from the Pirate Life tent. Past Players Day today here at Goodwood Saints. Good numbers from them. Carter out of the ruck. Gives it to Heitman.
And that's one of the reasons. Can I just go to my high horse for a sec, Jacko?
Yes.
This is why the AFL floating fixture sucks.
Yes.
Because they would not have scheduled past players on the same time as a Crows game.
Yep.
But because the AFL doesn't do the fixture until 5 weeks out,
yeah,
and we've got to organise things earlier. You just
don't know. Phil,
off my high horse and back to the highlight of the game because Kyle Kirk has snapped truly. And the Goodwood Saints are back in this contest. That's their 7th goal. And on the sip and save scoreboard, 7-8-50, St. Peter's 9-9-63.
And we didn't quite pick that up on the camera, but on the next to the barbecue tent, the Pirate Life tent, there's 2 other marquees, all erupted with that goal around the corner.
Right in front of them. They would have had the best view. Here's the highlight.
Yeah, nice. You only got to be in front at the end of the game, Phil, and I feel like Goodwood Saints are coming. I feel like they are coming. They're out to 7-8, St. Peter's 9-9.
Oh, it
Close this has been for a while. 2 goals, 1, the margin, 13 points. Got the breeze.
Got out to as high, I reckon, to 27. So the Goodwood have won the quarter.
Yeah.
And they're in range, but I reckon need at least 1 more before the final break.
Yeah, definitely. And Carter tries to take it out of the ruck. Nicely taken by St. Peter's. Now they go long towards the boundary line. And that was Jesse O'Brien. Been a bit quieter this quarter. Jesse, haven't called his name much this quarter. Certainly had a good first half. They were dominant around the ball, but it's like Mason Ellis and Heitman.
We're going to have some awards to give later, and I think we're going to have issues trying to work out who's played a full 4-quarter game.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a dominant player on the ground across the whole game. So, yes, it will be difficult, Phil, that is for sure. So maybe we'll keep the awards. I wouldn't mind a drink down the Moseley. Hey.
I tried to do that round 1 when you couldn't round up the players, but wasn't allowed to.
Don't tell Lukey Donaldson, that's one of his pubs. Good sponsor.
I'm sure that we will still be down the Moseley Bar and Kitchen for a very important season debrief at some stage.
Well, let's hope so. So Carter out of the ruck, takes it himself and kicks it straight up, then follows up with a punch. It's taken by Jake Sutcliffe around the corner. It's a beautiful kick of the ball. Luke Mitchell's there. He can't take it. Neither can McClay. Now Louis Whitelock's free on the left foot. Looks up. Nothing to kick to. So does it very intelligently along the boundary line and results in a boundary throw. And you've got to see, I can see one of the other Goodwood Saints players. Might be Nick Burgess. Saying him, well done, son.
And the rain is back again.
Yep.
It's been that kind of day. It's been showers every 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, they'll need to be within a goal at three-quarter time to win this, Phil. So the next 5 minutes, super important for Goodwood Saints. Carter this time hits it forward. Whitelock, handballs around the corner. Rana hacks it forward. Ends up with Lauby. He's well tackled by Kelch. And again, St. Peter's hold back the inevitable. They have won a free kick here, though. Jack Carter. And a fine job today against Jock McClay. Held him goalless. Goes long down the line, looking for putting a lot of pressure on the kid, Will Clark, for his size, but he does it extremely well, and as does Carter, comes down the ground. This is where they need Burgess on the last line, but number 29, Lucas Hughes, got it, goes towards Burgess. He can't keep his feet. St. Peter's, they're under pressure here. Again, oh, wow, Will Clark had a crack at his second. Not a bad result in the end for Goodwood Saints because they've got it trapped out for a boundary throw in the far side. If they can get it set up behind the ball here, they can at least keep attacking until they get a goal. So how they set up structurally behind the ball here is super important. Looks like it's all one-on-one. Plenty of numbers around the ball, so don't give away a free kick is the important bit here and attack the footy.
Babby went up and got it. As he was coming down, he was tackled. No prior opportunity deemed. And despite a little bit of encouragement from the St. Peter's players to offer a free, none was offered. Throw up, 35 metres in front. Ball spills free. As soon as anyone touches it, they're set upon. And I talked about the lights coming on. Well, I'm glad to say that a couple of cars are helping out on the far side.
Few candles there too.
It is seriously getting dark here.
This is a goal.
Look out of nowhere.
It's the one they needed.
Oh my goodness, who dobbed that?
Can't see. Initially I thought Favretto, but
possibly?
It's not. It's not Favretto. I reckon it's Scara.
Okay, we'll need the
running style.
We'll need the replay for this one, maybe on slow-mo.
Pretty sure it's Scara.
Let's have a look at the replay. Oh, Jacko.
Scara?
Yep.
Yes, really important goal for
Well,
him.
It is game on now, 7 points.
His second half's been much better than his first. First quarter a bit quiet.
I think that Goodwood have kicked the last three unanswered.
Look like they've gone one-on-one in the centre square, Goodwood, so they're all manning up on their opposition, using that as a starting point. So that's probably not a bad idea given the dominant St. Peter's had at clearances in the first half. So well coached by the Duck.
Hand pass and hope by the Saints. It's in their forward 50 looking for the free player. The snap
That's a good
around
goal.
the body, needs a bounce and doesn't get it.
That is unlucky. Generally, if you kick a ball like that around the corner, the second bounce,
It goes left.
it goes left, correct.
That was Edward Allen on the attempt.
All right, Whitelocked towards Burgess. Makes a good, strong contest. Jack Kelch been good for St. Peter's today. Haven't seen a lot of him. I've been pretty impressed with his game, as I have been with Ned Altschwager, who's tried well, but it's Tommy Carter who brings it away. Nice pick up by Will Clark around the corner. What you got there, Phil, you got a little like number 4, Kyle Kirk, being forced to come and make the contest in the air, and you had Angus Rana behind him, I think.
What you needed was Kirk to be running towards Clark when he was charging at the ball to be the runner to go forward.
Yeah, it wasn't actually Rana. I think it might have been Burgess, but yeah, you needed him to be the bloke on the ground rather than the one competing. But this is Rana. Hits it forward.
Ooh.
Players throwing themselves willingly at it. St. Peter's screaming for holding the ball.
A lot of potential umpires out there this afternoon.
Yeah, there's a fog coming down. I don't know if that's just on our window or on the ground. Goodwood Saints, if they can get one more here, they will be within 2 points at three-quarter time, and that'll be a fantastic third quarter. And then, well, then coaching tactics become super important in the last quarter.
And I think of the rain to a certain point. Doesn't the rain dilute the breeze a little bit?
Great handball from Favretto!
Oh, God, my
Great
goodness.
handball to Jacob Heitman. And that is a fantastic play, and that is exactly what I said. If they can get one more, they'll be within 2 points. Well, they are within 2 points.
Take your pick. That was almost a carbon copy of the one that Kirk delivered about 10 minutes earlier.
I reckon he's been Goodwood Saints' best midfielder today, Jacob Heitman. Even when they were under the pump early in the game, I thought he tried his backside off, and nice reward for effort there.
4 unanswered goals to the home side, the Goodwood Saints.
Momentum.
Somehow, they've managed to utilise the breeze.
You see the girls warming up in the background there, Phil, too. They must be playing after the boys here today.
They've got a big couple of games, the Goodwood Saints girls, in their, I think, Div 2, Div 3.
Right.
Looking to play finals, and the lights are coming on. Thank goodness for that.
So it just gave away a free kick unnecessarily there, Goodwood Saints, for hanging on.
I reckon if we were playing cricket, they would have stopped, not for the rain, but for the light.
Yeah.
Well and truly by now. All right, Hargraves has it. Saints need a steadier. Otherwise, Goodwood will take the lead with the next goal. There's Mitchell, who always seems to be involved in any successful forward foray. The jump by Sutcliffe, just forgot to take the mark.
Did everything but take the mark, didn't
Yeah,
he?
got clear position, got up really high.
McClay protected the space beautifully for him. He's got to take those marks.
Top setup.
Yep.
Yeah, but on a day like today, nothing is guaranteed.
Well, that
no
would've
mark
just-
is a given, no kick is a given.
Now, that would have just given him a little respite, Phil. Would have pushed him back to 8 points, coming home with the breeze, three-quarter time, imminent. But all the heat is on St. Peter's at the moment. All the heat.
29 minutes gone. They've been low scoring, but long quarters.
Jack Carter goes long. Puts a lot of pressure on young Will Clark. I've said that a few times today, but he's been up to it. Now St. Peter's long into their forward line. Jack Carter does it well again. Angus Rana well roved. Going to need a clean possession taken here. Goodwood Saints. Here's the chance. Here's the opportunity. Almost too high from Jack Kelch on Sam Lowby, I think. Not paid. Umpire let it go. Umpire's been good today.
Lowby's going to know that he's played a game of football today.
Yeah, he's a goer. There's a lot to like about Sam Lowby. Not sure how old he is, but not a lot of him.
Throw through the interchange gate. 30 minutes gone, third quarter. Sip and save scoreboard. St. Peter's 9-10-64. Goodwood Saints 9-8-62. Heavy rain, overcast and windy. Holtzbauer, the captain, only as far as Duncan. There is your three-quarter time siren. What looked 10 minutes in to be one way for St. Peter's is anything but. The goal scorers for Goodwood, Crockhart's got 2. Kirk and Heitman have some great snaps from the boundary line. I've also got Rana, Holzbauer, Clark and Lobby with goals for St. Peter's. Nick Mitchell 3, Sutcliffe 2, singles to Coulson, Bill Perio, Allen, Hamish Allen and Charlie Dowling. That's three-quarter time. Lavers off to the huddles. We'll get some scores around the grounds. Impact here with the final quarter. This is the Adelaide Footy League. Thanks to Filming Footy.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a 3-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable. So basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.
Quarter, let's go to Lambo.
3/4 time here today, boys. What a great game of footy. St Peter's by 2 points. Goody Saints got back in the game because they did 29 hard little things, Jacko. That's what got them back in the game. Can they do it in the last quarter? Well, they reckon they can. Run and carry and be persistent. Anyway, back to you, boys. But St Peter's are going with the win, and we'll see what happens. But the win doesn't win. The game of footy, it's work rate, as you both know what you're both doing up there today. You're doing a fine job, boy. I stay out here in the rain, but I love my footy. It's okay. See you later, boys.
Irrepressible is what he is.
What's the Western Bulldogs ex-legend? The Dougie Hawkins.
Oh, Dougie Hawkins.
Footy League.
Yeah, that's it.
1, 2, 3.
A mixture of Duggar and Dipper, I reckon.
Yeah,
He's
correct.
probably got the expressions of Dipper.
Yeah, true.
With the character of Dougie.
And the intellect of neither. We're into the middle.
I'll get you some 3/4 time scores, Jacko, but you call the final
All
quarter
right.
because it's going to be a ripper. The Saints against the Saints.
Well, it's going to be important in the middle, and Carter's been good all day. Watch him punch this one forward. He does. To Favretto. Ellis is in good position. If he can take it, he finally does. Favretto gets it. Should have stayed on that. Don't come back in the slippery conditions. They're good enough, though, Goodwood Saints, to get out of it. Kyle Kirk around the quarter. Toby Schul's in really good position for St Peter's. But back here is Tommy Carter. He's kicked that up in the air 50 metres trying to get rain. Goose, it's already raining. St Peter's now have the ball. What's he thinking? The last thing Goodwood Saints need is rain. They want to get so dry to that. They're not quite in front yet. And that was a wasted opportunity. So long down the line. McClay struggled to get in the game up forward today. He's certainly had his moments, but Jack Carter done a superb job. He'll feature highly in the best players for Goodwood Saints. And I'll tell you what, Phil, if Goodwood Saints win, I might even give best on ground or backman for the first time ever.
Okay.
They don't get anything, blokes who play in the back half, do they?
Not normally.
All right, Carter, Allschwager, ball at the back. Carter follows up his work. Should have got a free kick there. Unlucky. Goodwood Saints coming. Look at them, 3v1 there. Some really good signs for Goodwood Saints around the ball. They've certainly responded to the half-time message from the Duck. Now Carter and McClay. Should have got a free kick. Carter, did he? No. Stiff, but he did enough to push the ball out of bounds, and we'll have a reset deep inside St Peter's forward line. They'll be desperate. I talked about this situation here for Goodwood Saints in the last quarter. Can you lock it in till you score a goal? And they did. Let's see how St Peter's go. Well sharked by Heitman. Goes along the boundary line. It's come back into the forward 50 again. Goodwood Saints good. Deep, looking for the young fella Clark. He's got a task set for him here against 3. That's a poor kick from St Peter's though. Tommy Anderson a chance here. If he can sit, he does enough to push it forward to Burgess. You know this will be a strong contest. Anderson forward. Back now to Louis Whitelock. We're in good hands, Goodwood Saints. But as he's been all day, James Hargrave does it well for St Peter's.
Some scores around the grounds thanks to Sip and Save. Teacher Gully 12-7-79. 25-point leaders over Glenunga 8-6-54 heading into the final quarter.
keeping their relegation situation at bay. Tea Tree Gully, they were an important game for them today.
And that's probably a good result if that holds for both St Peter's and Goodwood Saints here, because Gleneagles were the team chasing the top 3. Elsewhere, Prince Alfred and Rocks were tied at half-time.
Yep.
Prince Alfred kicked 9 goals 2-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
And now lead Rocks by 56 points.
Wow. Percentage probably a factor there. Free kick to Goodwood Saints. Jack Luders, I should say.
And the last one quickly, good news. Old Ignatians have a goal. They're 1-4-10. Brighton 8-3-61. The Bombers by 51 points.
Good kick. Jacob Heitman. Been good. Mentioned that a few times. Goes the corridor. Courageous kick. Clark comes at it. Holzbauer there. Again, Toby Schultz around the corner. Heitman again, if he can get on his boot quickly, he does. They come in, unable to get underneath that ball, and in the end, a pretty good result for Goodwood Saints, because Sam Lowby was definitely up against it there. Now, if we cast our mind back to the last quarter, we should inside the 50. Can they trap it in here till they score a goal, Phil?
Well, this is their opportunity. If you hadn't seen the last 10 minutes of the third quarter, you'd think, gee, St Peter's are up, they've got the win, they'd be favourite. But the momentum is so much with Goodwood.
Favretto with a free kick too. Not sure he can make
Now
the
they've got
distance.
a chance. Well, we haven't seen anything outside of 50 get close.
No, I'd like to see Tom Carter push forward in this situation. No, he does a mountain of work. He's
I'm a
probably
bit
tired.
worried he's looking to the right-hand side.
Yep.
He's given it a try. Will land in the goal square. Off some hands. Goodwood are there first. This is Lobby. If he gets a chance to snap around the body off hands and a point, the deficit is halved. It's a 1-point footy game. The Adelaide Footy League, thanks to filming footy.
So the learning curve for Sam Lowby there is when you kick the ball around the corner like that, you must kick it into the air. Give it some loft. It's too easy to keep it like he did at head high. Too easy to defend. Must kick the ball into the air. All right. St Peter's control of the ball here, although Scar has a chance to get it. Can't take it. Umpire lets it go. He handballs it out now to Scar to Anderson. It's like a cake of soap at the moment. No one can pick it all up cleanly, and the umpire has found a free kick. Goodwood Saints players remonstrating, I should say. With it's Burgess who's won the free kick, and it's number 18, Edward Allen, looks like that the Goodwood Saints boys are remonstrating with. End up with Josh Slape, actually, who's won the free kick. He goes in the lead towards Burgess, but it's gone straight over his straight over his head. Yeah, not a bad result for Goodwood Saints, that one. They did enough. They were outmanned height-wise and size-wise in that contest, 1v2, and they did enough to bring the ball out of bounds. Now, this is important. They've got to lock the ball in, and the danger bloke here for St Peter's is Sutcliffe. So, Reece Slape, you need to man up on Sutcliffe in this situation here if they get it away quickly. Favretto there, pressure on, he comes out with the ball. He's got Ellis there if he can get it to him. In the end, the umpire says, sorry mate, you held on to it far too long, and that's probably not a bad call. And a nice tackle from St Peter's. And again, it's that bloke, James Hargraves.
Yep, so can they break out of this deadlock? And that's not going to help. The sliding almost to take the mark.
On the ball.
And that's going to be Goodwood free.
And that was the player I said, Phil, they had to man up on.
Yep.
And they didn't, but he just dropped the mark.
As I said, nothing,
bad drop.
nothing can be taken as a given in these conditions. Slate wanted it, given it to Burgess, who's goalless thus far, who's showing every indication that he thinks he can kick it.
Yeah, I don't mind this. I think he's a chance to kick it too. And he's a proven goal kicker.
Okay.
A good result for Goodwood Saints. I'm backing him, Phil.
I'm not.
I'll hit the lead for the first time today. Ah! Rubbish. Passed it.
Beautiful pass.
Clark.
That was all.
Clark.
That's what it was. It was the old, let's fake the shot, I'll pass it to you play.
Yeah.
Now, it looks tough here, and it probably is. Any score will tie this game or give Goodwood the lead.
Yep.
At worst, if he can just score.
Will he go the banana, Phil? He looks like he's going to go the drop punt. He's an old-fashioned footballer. He's got the rain pelting into his face.
From this side go through, but maybe not this tight.
I'll back him. He's nailed that. No. Angus Rana teased me the way he came running out there. It was like Clark had kicked the goal. So scores a level, Phil.
Scores are indeed level. 9
close.
goals, 10 behinds apiece. When was the last time St. Peter's had it inside their forward 50? Has it happened this quarter?
Carter's got to be high up in the BPs too for Goodwood Saints, doesn't he?
Well, we've got to work that out soon, and of course it's a darn tight football game. Good luck.
They're in front.
Carter's kick.
Nearly. Oh.
Nothing's a given, Jacko.
No. Like my wife said to me last night, Phil.
Nothing's a given.
No, I celebrated prematurely.
Okay.
No, that's when I was watching the
AFL. Thanks for sharing. Throw in 30 metres out. Oh, bit of nutmeg there on poor Jack Kelch. He's made to pay for it at the bottom of that pack. The boy says, no, I'll take it.
So Goodwood Saints midfielders have stepped their game up from half-time, haven't they? Around the ball, they've been far, far tougher than they were in the first half. It'll be easy coaching tool for the Duck going forward and showing the boys some of the differences of the work rate at the stoppages first and second half. That one bloke who's been good has been Heitman, and that's him again around the corner to his opposite number 5, but it's Slate, Josh Variety, who ends up with the ball and almost hits Clark. Holzbauer, or Favretto it was, around the corner, looking for Rana, 1-on-3. Holzbauer now, and the ball's on the ground. This might turn out all right. Is that Tommy Anderson?
I
reckon it is. And doesn't have a goal for the day, does he?
No siree.
Wowee, what a time to get your first. What did you say? He's kicked 16 or 18 for the
18
year?
for the season.
18, so he's averaging almost 2 a game. He's going to make the distance. He's going to put him in front.
Any score, they're in front.
Oh my God, he's hit the top of the left post. Like that was a goal for all intents and purposes until it just cannoned into the last centimetre of the post, Phil.
Yeah, but it is the first time today, I reckon, the Goodwood Saints have been in front.
They scored each other there. Oh, has his head.
And St. Peter's can't do a thing about it because they can't get past the centre at the moment.
No.
Now, this has been seriously locked up in Goodwood's half of the field for a good 8 minutes.
Yeah, Mitchell can't get into the game. The ball hasn't been down there. Looks like McClay's gone into the ruck against Tommy Carter. Tommy Carter tries to kick it off the ground himself as like he does normally. Scara around the corner looking for a free kick. Clark.
Hargraves.
He's probably the best player on the ground. There you go.
Yeah, talk about courageous.
They're taking him out of the midfield today and he has been super effective across the half-back line.
Hargraves kick through a few hands to Mason Ellis at the back. Just got the kick away before Masuliadis had him for dinner.
Well, I don't think that was a free kick really. McClay was arguing
Josh
with it.
Slate. Another forward 50. Spills to the back, kick up and kick across the face.
Dear, dear.
Rana.
So even a second point could be handy, can't it? Cause,
absolutely.
So a point there would have been good. But this is probably not a bad result because they've been good in this situation in the second half. Boundary throw in, deep inside the forward 50. Lock it in until you score a goal. Out comes Rana, hits it over the top to Burgess. Got the answers there. Scara! Where's one across the head?
Umpire was I just had a look where the umpire was at that point, and he had about 12 players between him and Rana. I'm not surprised he didn't see that.
Unlucky Anthony Scara. So ball up. This time Carter's come down for it. Scara tries to take that one clean, and we're off to Lambo.
Jake Sutcliffe off with a hamstring, mate, from St. Peter's.
Bad news for St. Peter's, but they have won a free kick here, so that is good news to balance it. They go out the far side. Plenty of space. Poor defence on that occasion from Goodwood Saints. They go short. Doesn't hit the mark. Now they've got some good heat. The umpire has paid a free kick for over the shoulder or pushing the back. Take your pick.
This will be the first time St. Peter's have gone forward, and it feels like forever.
Yeah, Slape's in good position here though behind the footy. Just doesn't quite get to it, and that's a good result for St. Peter's.
And on the replay, it looks like it's a normal sunny afternoon.
It
From our view, Like the scoreboard is seriously lighting up the oval.
Yeah, well, the light tower there, where that play is right now, it's making it look like that is only because it's coming directly from the light tower above.
Yeah. Throw in, 35 metres out, a rare forward 50 for St. Peter's, who have led all day, bar about the last couple of minutes. You can see the scoreboard there, Sip and Save scoreboards. Goodwood Saints 9-11-65, St. Peter's 9-10-64.
I'd like to see someone from Goodwood Saints get in the hole here in front of Mitchell at full forward. They haven't got anyone, they've only got Smalls there. Just a spare player, this situation would be important for this kick. Oh, it didn't get it through the traffic, luckily.
In the end stoppage, it's been long quarters.
Yeah, I really think they need a spare back here, Goodwood Saints, for this situation. They can roll one left midfielder in. There's enough players around the contest. They are really relying on winning the ball at the contest here. And in fairness to them, they've been pretty good at it that in the second half, Phil. If we had a stat on the clearances.
Miss Lockie.
Yeah, where are you, Lockie? Come back.
Another throw in. Can barely see the ball with the naked eye, to be honest. It spills to Reece Slate. Great to have him back in the lineup.
Good contest from Lowby. Fantastic courage from the kid. Here's the chance, Phil. Burgess running onto it. Sits up nicely. Oh, runs into an open goal. Nearly takes the goal umpire's head off.
Well, that's how you kick him.
Straight at the goal umpire.
Look, if you kick the goal umpire, you've kicked the goal, haven't you?
Do you reckon you should get an extra point if you do hit the goal umpire?
No. You might be lucky, you might be unfortunate to get reported and get a week, but...
What about we push for that rule?
Okay.
Well,
you've got the forum for it, Jacko, and you're between the post program now that you...
I'd call that in the week, and we'll open it up for discussion. But wow, what a goal for Goodwood Saints. They're doing all the scoring, folks.
That is the first goal of the quarter at the 14-minute mark.
Yeah, 10 goals, 11. Now would you start thinking about playing someone back behind the footy if you're Goodwood Saints? Maybe not, because they're certainly winning it around the source at the stoppage. Tom Carter. He's playing himself into a beanie, dartfish beanie. Will need a big size to fit his bonce. Go around the corner, have a look at Holzbauer. One-handed pickup, if you don't mind, then shortens the kick. Well, that's ended up with, I think, Lucas Hughes. He now brings it back inboard to Lowby. And everything going Goodwood Saints' way. Nothing going the way of St. Peter's.
And this is kickable. This is kickable.
Yep. So Lowby for his third for the day, Phil, if you don't mind. I'll tell you what, I am going to go. I'm going to go Jack Carter. There you are. Okay. Making the call if Goodwood Saints can win it. Sam Lowby, the goal number 3 that'll please all the defenders in the world. Sam Lowby got good purchase on the kick. Oh, touched on the line if you don't mind.
Andy behind.
Andy behind, is it? Okay,
no.
Yeah, they're 10-12. St. Peter's 9-10, so they lead by 1 goal, 2. Saints have it now, St. Peter's that is.
Also, St. Peter's have to really kick 2 goals.
Good pressure there from Goodwood
And
Saints,
they
wasn't
have
it?
not scored anything this quarter.
Yeah, good pressure there. Both Kyle Kirk and Josh Slate. I think it came at the bloke there with the footy, and actually it might have been Nicholas Crockhart, the young kid. This time it's Blessing. He's done enough. And I reckon is this Will Clark? It's not Lowby.
So you're showing he's played a game.
It is Lowby.
There you go.
So he would have learnt something, you would hope, from the last kick, which
I just hope he aims for the inside of the left behind post.
Well, he had the accuracy, didn't he? He just didn't have the length. So
yeah.
He's going to have the length from here, Sam Lowby, for his third for the day. They put Goodwood Saints well and truly in front. He has the young fella. He has had a cracking game, Sam Lowby. Goodwood Saints out to 11-12. They now lead St. Peter's by 2 goals and 2 points.
That's almost game, Jacko.
Who would have seen this 45 minutes ago, Phil?
Well, you wouldn't have, because St. Peter's have kicked like the last 6, maybe 7 unanswered goals.
Looks like the
well,
rugby.
they've kicked I reckon they've kicked 7 of the last 8.
Ruckman coming off the ground, looking a bit proppy. Ned Ulchwager, which is not a great sign. And
He and Sutcliffe are gone. They're suddenly very short.
yeah, hopefully that's not a long need.
By a couple of versions.
He doesn't look too bad. So it's Mitchell that's gone in the ruck. Not McLeod. Burgess lays it off to Tom Anderson. They're running now, Goodwood Saints. Look at this kick. Oh, crikey, that was almost marked by Clark, I think. It's hard to see through our window up here at Goodwood Saints. We'll have to get him to work on that during the week.
It's frothing up. Hot air on our side, cold
if
air
you're
on
watching
the other.
this up in Port Douglas, Craig Scott, or if you're watching this in the fire station at St Mary's, Andrew Forrest, we need a defroster on the windows here. Have you got a name yet, Phil, for the Goodwood Saints icon?
Almost, you'd call it heaven.
Heaven!
Well, it is the best facility in the league in the Saints theory. I'm sort of trying to work in Saints into there somewhere.
What about a really good caterer? Because they cater really well.
Okay.
Will you work on that?
Okay.
So again, Goodwood Saints have the answers. Well, just to give you an idea, folks, at 18 minutes, most of the quarters are gone for deep into the 20s, and I think 30 minutes the last quarter or the second quarter, so plenty of time left if you're a St Peter's fan. Bradley Coulson has the ball, plays on quickly, goes down the line towards Jock McLeay. First time I see him beat Jack Carter for a while. Plays on quickly, not sure about that. Gets good purchase on the kick though. Over the top, Louis Whitelock lets it get through, and oh, it's an easy goal for St Peter's in the end. Mason Eagle strolls into an open goal and the ball got over the top. A little bit unlucky,
Okay.
but good football.
Jacko, we've got some decisions to make. Lambo has found some minions.
He's found some what?
Minions that have come up looking for our sheep.
Oh, they're a bit early, boys, a bit early.
It's okay, no 20-minute mark. So, I've got 3 Simon Back player of the games for Goodwood. I've got the Mark Tirana and goal.
Yep.
The snap in the pocket from Kirk. The snap in the pocket from Heitman. And I think I'm going to go with Rana, because that was actually the spark where you could say, right, this game flipped.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
So I'll just write that.
Well, you write that down while I
write
call
that.
the game. Yes, Lambo has just sent me a text message saying, get on, hurry up with the awards, mate. We can't give you the awards. It's an 8-point margin. 20 minutes nearly gone. Anything could happen from here. Carter hits it forward. Favretto hacks it off the ground with the left foot. The big Angus Rana comes at this one, takes it cleanly. Good to see the big fella. Got down low. And he handballed it out in front of Kyle Kirk. Although I am struggling to see. Might have been, in fact, I think it was Nick Crockhart. I'm struggling to see through that window that hasn't been...
All yours, Jacko. I reckon we've got a couple of minutes, then we better give the minions what they need.
Right. Carter to Favretto. Around the corner. Doesn't get great purchase on it. Good protection from St Peter's. Here's a chance for a holding the ball decision. They appeal. Goodwood Saints. Oh! Brave umpire to give that decision.
It was Charlie Dowling at the bottom of that pack. Plenty around the ball. The tap from Mitchell. St Peter's a momentary clearance. Still 40 out. Here's Reece Slape. He'll be first to it. He's tackled really just as soon as he got the ball. Spills out of bounds. 21 minutes gone. Sip and save scoreboard. Goodwood Saints 11-12, 78. St Peter's 10-10, 78. Of all that, there is a St Peter's free. And the mark's been taken by the Saints defence. I reckon that was also possibly Dowling. They've got to get a wriggle on St Peter's. They're going to open space. The soccer now. That was by Neagle. He said he was held onto. Umpire concurs. And I'll tell you what, he gave him a bit of distance on the free kick there. Jock McLeay. Is he thinking I can kick it from here? Surely not.
It'll change my
Suddenly,
words.
a vacant St Peter's forward line has got a lot of tenants.
I don't want this one going over the backfield.
They've kicked that where there's only Goodwood Saints. They pick it up there in business. They can't, and out of bounds maybe not a bad option to reset the defence.
Mark would have been a better option.
Well, there was 2 Goodwood Saints players there. That was a really interesting place to kick it to because I'm not sure where the lead was. All right, are we good?
No, we're not good.
Okay.
I'll just have to wait, boys.
Because the kids are anxious.
Well, too bad.
Jacko's promised, Lambo's promised them a sausage or something if they deliver. No. Okay. Clearance by Goodwood. Clark's got 4 to beat. Shot it off the boot. Here's a race. They're off. Ball sits 15 out.
Off the ground, would you? Oh, great Shepherd. Oh, he's missed the goal.
He's missed the goal.
Lucas
Hughes.
Clark has run 50 metres to put a Shepherd on and gave him the opportunity, didn't it, to win the game. Wow.
Well, at least it's helped them win because I think 23 minutes gone, 9 points. It's down the wrong end of the ground now. And Goodwood have shown a great ability to lock it in. Rain's coming down heavily now. Front of the square for Goodwood. No one can get clear possession. No one can keep their feet. Everyone can lay a tackle all right.
Yeah, no
Everything else is problematic.
No room for the faint-hearted here. Gee whiz, throwing himself in at the ball there.
I think we've got to commit, Jacko.
Why did...
Well, just say if St. Peter's at the lead, we'll redo it.
They'll get down there in plenty of time from when the time goes. Don't panic, Phil. Don't panic.
Okay.
Everyone's got plenty of time to get set. We've got a game to call. Carter. Blessing.
O'Brien. Neagle. Got a chance here. Couldn't hold on to it. Nothing easy today. A little flip. Not sure if that was a legal hand pass. Boundary throw in. That clock continues to tick at the 24-minute mark.
Got Burgess back behind the footy now. Goodwood Saints. Good move.
9-point margin. So we're not quite, next goal wins.
Got 2.
Desperate.
Got Slape as well, loose, Phil. So St. Peter's got an advantage around the ball.
Yeah.
Numbers-wise. This is where you need your forwards from Goodwood Saints to come up and give you that help. But Burgess in good position here.
Great attack. He finds Josh Slape in space. If it sits, which it won't, because it's that kind of day, will be a throw in. 24 and a half minutes gone. And Jacko's committed. Do you want to thank the Moseley Bar and Grill, New Balance. Archie's Footwear, that'll go down well today, the Archie's Footwear, the Powerade, and our favourite, the Moseley Bar and Kitchen for our post-award vouchers, as that one heads down the outer wing. Reece Lape had it covered, he went out of bounds. Last hurrah for St. Peter's, I think, Jacko, as we hit 25 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, Phil. Every quarter's gone to 28,
We've only
29.
had 3 goals kicked though, which is lower than what we've had most quarters.
Yeah, and they do have a couple of blokes back behind the footy now, Goodwood Saints, so they should be able to hang on from here, but because they'll need to win, they'll need to kick 2 goals to win it.
Yep.
Favretto charging hard at the ball. His second half's been very good, much like we've come to expect of him. He's my choice in the medal. Not sure he'll get a vote today, but umpires do tend to remember what happens in the second half, so you never know. Goodwood Saints, McClay, first hand on ball, heads towards the boundary line. Anderson's there for Goodwood Saints. Happy to see the ball get restarted, time get burnt. This is where the Adelaide Footy League, the boundary line can be your friend, where it can't be in the AFL or the SANFL. Push the ball out, any doubt. Head towards the boundary line. Bring all your numbers back. If we could see forward of the contest here, we could see St. Peter's have got 2 players spare. Yeah. So if you're in Goodwood Saints' hands,
and I'm about to say, they've got to just throw everything and attack that way, which seems to be the call to one of them to come up.
Yeah, one of them, yep. You don't want to be kicking it quickly. That looked like a push, and has he paid it? He hasn't. He's paid the mark. You've made me commit to the BPs. Luke Mitchell.
I reckon Mitchell it is. Just turn around a bit. It's not Sutcliffe because he had the hamstring.
Yep.
If he kicks this, it suddenly gets exceptionally interesting.
Yeah. And he's only 25 metres out. And it's gone straight through the middle, folks. We have got Burgess coming off the ground, who's super important to Goody Saints. Actually, it's not. Sorry, it's Lucas Hughes and Ben Holzbauer, the captain, coming back on the ground. So Luke Donaldson barking instructions, as is St. Peter's coach Jeff Riddle. Every coach on the sidelines barking out instructions. This is where all your training during the week, folks, is important. You understand a 3-point game in favour of Goodwood Saints. How do you set up structurally? Well, let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on 7 in the front half. No, 10 on 7, I should say. So 2 spare. And this is where Goodwood Saints got to be careful. If they win the clearance, they don't kick the ball forward quickly. Because they have no one forward.
Keep the ball off of St. Peter's.
So that's what's happened right there. So Carter doesn't understand, and he's pushed it forward, whereas you need to go sideways. Doesn't matter because the ball's back in the middle. Tommy Anderson has it. Ball spills out now. St. Peter's first on it. Quick kick. Jack Carter got Holzbauer this side if he wants to use him. Should have. In the end, he goes to Slape. Should get up quickly and use Holzbauer. Now he's covered. Now St. Peter's need to be pressing up the ground. No loose players. Is that the siren? No, that's not the siren. It's the coaches yelling for him to go long. He does. No one in a real good position for Goodwood Saints, but they do enough to take the ball out of bounds.
That was well done by Goodwood Saints. They kept it out of the hands of a St. Peter's player. Here's the trick though. Somehow a St. Peter's player can get an open territory.
Well, Hargraves is free. Burgess now goes to him. Carter lays it off to Holzbauer. He doesn't take it, almost deliberately. The umpire says no. I'll have another crack at it.
Almost appealing at the cricket there with the arms going up because a free kick here and the St. Peter's are in range to steal it.
Yep.
No room for error for Goodwood. Very little time left for St. Peter's. The dobbing kick to a pack.
Good tackle.
Tackle straight away.
Now, Phil, I don't want to labour the point, but the last restart there, Goodwood Saints have hit the ball forward. There's no one forward of the restart. So you can't bring it hard forward. You've got to bring the ball in or hit towards the boundary line. There it is! Goodwood Saints. They look pretty happy, don't they? The interchange bench, Luke Donaldson, the coach, looks extremely happy. Yeah. The kids are happy that we relayed the awards down to, and well, I'm not sure whether you'll be happy with my selections.
I wonder if Lambo's told him to go and get the players for him. I mean, look, to summarise, that was one tough footy game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And the disappointing thing for St. Peter's is that they had control of that game at half-time and they just didn't do enough. And more importantly, when the challenge was thrown at them in the second half, they weren't good enough to be able to go with it. 4 goals in a row. Goodwood Saints in the third quarter just unravelled.
And then some.
Yeah. It unravelled, didn't it?
The first, what was it, 2 or 3? First 2 of these, no, first 3, I think, of the final quarter. So I reckon there was 7 in a row they kicked at one point.
Jake Sutcliffe, hamstring injury there, Phil.
Yep.
Not great for St. Peter's
that's
either.
That's the long-term ramification. We're waiting to get scores around. Looks like it may not be catastrophic for St. Peter's in terms of ladders, because last time we looked, Glenunga were trailing by a pretty reasonable margin.
Right.
So the top 3, I think, is still okay, but they could be, well, they're now 2 games out of second, so...
It almost feels like no one wants to grab 4th and 5th.
Yeah, well, Tea Gully have beaten Glenunga by 2 goals.
Right.
99 to 81. That's not... Sorry, 99 to 87. As Lambo's getting his players together, we'll cross to him. I've got Prince Alfred up by about 9 goals over Rocks, and I've got Brighton by 51 over Old Ignatians. They're not finals, according to this live scoring system, but they're big enough margins. Well, yeah, Prince Alfred have won. So they might still be the dark horse chasing St. Peter's for that 3rd spot. You never know.
Oh, they're the form team of the competition, Phil. Over the last, they lost to Port Districts at home by less than a kick. Who are the form team of the competition, I should say, Port Districts. But PAC, they're coming. Make no mistake about that. It's just whether they can get into the top 3, because it's hard to win them from 5th spot. There's no doubt about that. But I think you'd be pleasantly surprised by the awards today. I can't remember us giving them to a backman, but we'll go to Craig Lambert now.
What a great game today at Goodwood Oval. Goody Saints got up by a couple of points. Best on ground, number 5 for Goodwood Saints is young Jacob Herman. Well done, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Just a great game. First half's a bit sloppy. Came home a bit in the second half.
Yeah, first half wasn't great, but yeah, we got in at half time, duck inspired us and we came out. We knew we were going to get over them when it became wet. We loved the wet. We loved going in hard and yeah, getting on top.
Well done, mate. Great game. Okay, young Angus. Well done, mate. You got the Simon Black Academy player today. Parade and Archie's. The mark and goal early in the third quarter. Remember that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Tell the boys up there how good that goal was.
The team played well. My goal wasn't much.
All right, mate. Congratulations. Great effort.
Thanks, mate.
Young Jack. Well done, mate. No, you did a terrific job on the big fella, mate. Moseley Bar Kitchen team player, mate. So $100 at the Moseley. You can buy Jacko and I and a few of the boys up there a drink.
I won't go too far at the Moes. I know those prices, but yeah, we'll see how far it goes.
Well done, mate. Great team effort by everyone. So can you get all the boys here, mate? I think we have a team photo, mate. Hey, boys, all around the best players here. We have a team photo. Get out here. Yeah, with the boys here, around the best players. Jack. Coach, hey, get behind the best players, boys. Team photo.
Is Jacko up there?
Yeah, let's have a chat. All right, here we go, boys. Team photo. Let's go, everybody in. Okay. How good a start, Fish. Here we go. Yay, beauty! Tommy, you got the film in there, Tommy. Come on, Tommy, you're better than that. Yeah. Well done, boys.
Yeah, well done to the Goodwood Saints Footy Club today in a game that was, well, it was a game of two halves. First half belonged to St Peter's. They couldn't put the game out ever of Goodwood Saints' reach. Now, they looked like they should have. They looked like perhaps they had. And I think we may have called it several times that they had. But, gee whiz, don't ever discount Goodwood Saints at home. That second half was out of the box. And to win like that in the last minute or so of the game, Phil, what a fantastic game of footy.
Yep, they got their defence down pat, and the best defence is a good offence. And by that I mean that the ability of their forwards and mids to bottle the play inside Goodwood's forward half until they got a goal, especially that start of the final quarter. First time Saints really got a decent shot on goal, they'd gone from being a couple of points up to about 2 goals behind. So, great victory. They will most likely meet again come finals time, you would think, at some stage.
Well, what I think it does, almost guarantees them second spot, almost guarantees them at least a home final. Yeah. If not, it keeps them in the running for top spot. So really, really important win. And conversely for St Peter's, a really bad loss in the context of the last month for them hasn't been great. And they did play terrific footy in the first half and just couldn't get the job done. I guess they get a bit of confidence knowing they're not far off the mark, but well, losing Sutcliffe with a hamstring injury today, hopefully that's not too bad for them. Yep, it'll make it very difficult for them to get a home final. In saying that, I'm not sure St Peter's actually qualify for home finals anyway.
No, they don't. But I think they get the choice of where it's played, so I guess they don't have the issue of having to go too far.
Well, it's not at the opposition's home ground, is it? That's the main thing. And the Goodwood Saints girls are warming up as we speak.
Final round of the regular season for them.
Is it? Right, where are they? What division, Phil?
They're either the Div 3 or the Div 2 reserves. I can't tell you exactly, but I do know that bar one division, Div 5, all the finals start next week. The grand finals, half of them will be August the 6th, and the others will be August the 13th, including the Buddy Bet Division 1. Just trying to get a final. I do have a final. Brighton have beaten Old Ignatius. So the scores around the ground. Brighton have beaten Old Ignatius by 44. Ooh. Prince Alfred have taken care. Ross Trevor scored 1 point in the second half.
Wow.
Prince Alfred ended up winning by 76. Goodwood over St Peter's by 3. And as I mentioned, Tea Tree Gully over Glenunga by 12. The only one I have no update whatsoever is Payneham and Port District. It was top versus bottom. We'll find it out in the Sunday mail tomorrow.
I'm guessing that the bottom 3, if we say Payneham are going down, that other spot for down is Tea Tree Gully's win today might have taken them perhaps out of that possibility now, and Old Ignatians are in danger along with Ross Trevor of dropping away. And it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago we talked about Old Ignatius playing finals, so they have certainly fallen away. they'll need to regroup pretty quickly if they're to stay in this competition for next year. And at the top end, well, Port Districts keep doing their thing. They win today?
That's
we
the
don't
one
know.
I don't know.
We don't know. Goodwood Saints, St Peter's, and then 4th and 5th. Well, Glenunga had a chance to consolidate. They've lost today. I
actually think that what's happened today, unless I've done this incorrect, is Princes have jumped to 4th.
Right.
Brighton have jumped to 5th. Glenunga have dropped out. And Tea Tree Gully are also in 7th. They're all on 7 wins and now a 2-game gap to Old Ignatians and Rocks for 8th to 9th. So the relegation could now be, as you said, a battle in 3. Old Ignatians, Rocks and Payneham. Only one will survive.
Yeah. So there's still some excitement, 4 games to go. From a Division 1 perspective, we're all having a week off next week.
We are.
Bye in Division 1. So,
and I'm not here on the 30th, so...
You got 2 weeks off, Phil.
I won't be here on the 30th, alas. Payneham and Rocks will be a big relegation. Old Ignatians and St Peter's.
Yeah.
Old Ignatians needing a win. St Peter's coming off 2 back-to-back losses.
I'll throw this one at you, Phil. Can PAC get to 3rd spot?
At this point, yes. PAC play Tea Tree Gully. That's winnable.
Yep.
St Peter's have Old Ignatians. You'd think Spock would be
What's
favourites.
the difference? Is it just 1 game now?
1 win. And if my percentage is correct, exactly 1%, which is not a lot with
PAC,
4 games to go.
We'd almost written off of playing finals this year. May end up in the top 3, and from the top 3, it's winnable.
Yes. Yep.
Thanks, Quaig. How was it today down the boundary line there, Quaig? Was it cold? Wet?
Well, yourself and Phil were nice and snugly up here. I think you had a few hot chocolates, but no, Sean, it's no use going to the footy if you don't get to be part of it on the outside, mate.
Right, apologies to Mr. and Mrs. Heitman at home for getting their son's name first and last wrong at the end of the game.
I said Jacob.
Did you? I thought you said Jack. We'll rewind the tape.
What's up with Sean, Phil?
Okay.
Honestly, he is a numbers and...
Is it Heitman?
It depends where you came from.
Not going there.
So what did you think? What was your final synopsis on the game today, Craig?
Oh, it's complete. After half time, I just believe Goodwood Saints went to another level.
Alrighty. Well, that was one heck of an afternoon, Lambo. You get the Intrepid Award for being out there and braving the conditions, and I know the players certainly appreciated your support there as well. We're going to wrap it up. There will be games filming footy. Check out the Adelaide Footy League Facebook page during the week. Jacko will be back with Between the Posts.
Will, indeed, on Monday night. Just some breaking news there, Phil, from your screen, which is interesting. West Adelaide have had their first win in, I think they've had 28 losses in a row.
It's in the 20s,
Great.
And it's over a year. And they beat, best of all,
Port
they beat
Magpies.
Port Adelaide. Fantastic. That means we don't have to talk about Glenelg and the Eagles.
Yeah.
But that's a different league. We're doing the Adelaide Footy League B&A. Well, it's been
Good coaching today, I feel, too, boys.
Yeah.
By who? Both?
From both, especially first half by St Peter's, you know. They learnt from their first loss against Goodies and their preparation was good. But second half, Luke made a few changes and I just believe around the ball, Goodies got a lot better and moved it on quicker and a lot smarter with their ball sense, Jacko.
Yeah. Favredo made a big difference around the ball in the second half. He's a bit quiet.
Burgess had a
unusual.
couple of key touches where he used some pace.
Lauby.
Space.
Lauby up forward, kick
And they
3.
just had a couple of finishes when they needed them in Lauby in particular. I reckon we're done, gents. Any final words, Lambo?
No, just always love coming to Goodwood Saints. Great people and great company, great food and drink. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I concur those thoughts, Craig. If they can get the Demister sorted out up here, the rest of it is first class at Goodwood Saints.
I'll be thinking of both of you during the week when I'm up Darwin, but that's the way the world operates, Shawnee.
We're looking for a name for the Goodwood Saints Footy Club, not with Taj Mahal at Ross Trevor.
Oh, okay.
Pearly Gates.
What's Athelston? I said it earlier on.
The resort.
The resort. What about Goodwood Saints? What do you...
The Forest, the Wood Forest.
The Andrew Forest. He'd be happy about that, naming the stadium after him.
Treehouse. No.
The Treehouse.
It's okay. It's a work in progress.
We'll have a competition.
You think about that when you time off during the week, mate.
Between the Posts on Monday night, all will be revealed with a new nickname of the Goodwood Saints Football Club.
Yeah, I can't wait actually to watch it because I heard there's going to be some
Saints
interesting stories on Monday night, Shawnee.
Salary cap investigation.
Oh, hello.
Will lead the discussion.
Yes. Make sure you have your lawyer.
Make sure you got it. Yeah, make sure the lawyers are involved too.
Alrighty, I think
Allegedly.
we've said enough. We'll wrap it up at that point. Thanks to our producer, our camera crew, the entire filming footy team. There'll be games next week, just no Division 1. And we'll be back in a fortnight to bring you the road home to the finals. And then all the action come late August. This is Phil, and on behalf of Sean Jackson and Craig Lambert saying good night from Goodwood Oval.
See you, folks.
G'day guys, the Simon Black Academy is all about education and sport. Our partner in education is Torrens University, where our students either do a one-year diploma course or a three-year Bachelor of Business. Around that we run a football and athletic program based here at Norwood Oval, and it's all about trying to develop and take our students' game to a new level. Around that also, our third pillar, besides education and football, is personal development. If you want to get involved, check out our website, which is simonblack.com.au.
Well, folks, we're down here at the Banner Crew. Our friend, supporter and sponsor of Between the Posts has joined us. Welcome, Jason Goods.
Thanks, Tony. Nice to be with you.
What can the people out there expect to buy from the Banner Crew and get looked after?
Pretty much anything that you can put your club logo on, or a message from the club, whether it be, like you mentioned, a marquee or a flag or an A-frame or a banner, a stubby holder, a pen, anything like that, anything that you can pop the club branding on. Everything's customisable, so basically we've got an in-house design department with 2 graphic designers that can work toward getting the message across that you're after.
We're down here at 318 to 326 St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide. Jason, thank you so much for your support.